This girl accidentally pulled off a crossdresser's skirt in public. The next day, she discovered that the crossdresser was actually her boss. The girl's name is Yulu. She's an anime enthusiast. Today, Yulu and her best friend came to attend an anime convention. Besides loving anime, she had also been hired by an animation company. The two, in high spirits, decided to fully enjoy this anime convention feast. At this moment, Teacher Suzuki's autograph session began. Her enthusiastic fan friend quickly ran to get Suzuki's signature. The convention site was crowded everywhere. Yulu was accidentally knocked down by an overzealous fan. She fell right into the arms of a tall, big sister. Yulu quickly looked up to apologize, but she found the big sister to be incredibly cold and beautiful. For a moment, she didn't know what to say. Suddenly realizing she was still in the big sister's arms, Lulu hurriedly stepped back, apologizing repeatedly in embarrassment. The cold and beautiful big sister just smiled and walked away. Lulu gazed at the big sister's departing figure, thinking how beautiful she was. She must be cosplaying as Tomi. What a beautiful Tomi. It's like she walked straight out of the manga. Lulu's eyes remained fixed on the Tomi big sister. Suddenly she noticed a masked man was crouching behind the big sister, sneakily taking upskirt photos with his camera. Yulu's sense of justice immediately flared up. She went over and kicked the masked man's camera away with a flying kick. Picking up the camera from the ground, she said to the Tomi big sister, "This scumbag was just taking upskirt photos." The surrounding crowd began to discuss the masked man. The masked man, seeing the situation, hurriedly defended himself. "Do you have any evidence? I didn't take any photos just now, but you broke my camera. Compensate me $17,000 for the lens, or I'll call the police." Yulu was so angry she wanted to slap the masked man. "What nonsense are you talking about? You took photos of others and dare to ask me for compensation?" The Tomi big sister took the camera from Yulu's hand. "Let me take a look." Hearing the voice, Yulu turned her head in surprise. It was a man's voice. At this moment, Yulu's brain seemed to short-circuit. Her mind was filled with that male voice. So this Tomi big sister was actually a man. The Tomi big sister looked at the camera, saying, "It's just a generic brand, worth about $3,000 at most. As for whether there was any photographing, let the police check the surveillance footage and it'll be clear. Then we can also ask how to deal with extortion." The masked man immediately broke out in a cold sweat, apologizing profusely, claiming he was wrong. He would never dare to do it again. The Tomi big sister took out the memory card, threw the camera back to the masked man, and turned to leave. Lulu looked at the big sister, knowing he took the memory card because he was worried there might be photos of other girls on it. She hurriedly caught up, wanting to say thank you. The masked man, harboring resentment, stuck out his foot to trip Yulu. As Yulu fell, she grabbed onto something like a lifeline. To the shock of everyone present, she pulled down the Tomi big sister's skirt, revealing pink boxer shorts underneath. The farthest distance in the world is not between life and death, but when a girl pulls down her skirt, and after the girl's criticisms could circle the earth twice, she discovers that she is the person she's been looking for. She is her long-cherished ideal love. Starlight Comic-Con is considered a paradise for anime enthusiasts. But for the girl at this moment, it's not just an entertainment venue. At this time, a crowd of people were squeezed at the ticket check. It turns out the girl had been hired by Starlight. The girl's name is Yulu, a 22-year-old fresh graduate. Yulu's best friend, Song ran over, hugged Yulu's shoulders and said she knew she would make it. Then she imagined becoming a future top Comic-Con planner, determined to fully enjoy this Comic-Con feast. At this moment, Song glanced at the time and suddenly remembered that Teacher Lingmu's autograph session had started. So she hurriedly went to get Teacher Lingmu's autograph, not forgetting to remind Lulu to meet at the center stage at 6 o'clock. In the blink of an eye, Lulu could no longer see her silhouette. She thought, she runs so fast. At this time, a boy was pushing towards Yulu's direction, saying, "Hurry to get Teacher Suzuki's autograph." Yulu lost her balance, and her body lurched forward. She was about to fall. At this moment, a figure blocked her. Yulu was about to say sorry. She looked up, and her eyes widened in surprise. It was a big sister with exquisite makeup. At this time, Yulu was still hugging this big sister without letting go. After Yulu came to her senses, she quickly stood up and said, "I'm sorry." The big sister didn't say anything. She glanced at Yulu and then turned to leave. Yulu looked back at the big sister's silhouette. The boy next to her was also stunned by the beauty. Yulu said admiringly, "So beautiful." beautiful, she thought. She must be cosplaying as Tomi. Looking at such a beautiful Tomi, Yulu felt as if she had walked out of a manga. At this time, the big sister was standing in the crowd looking at her phone. Yulu suddenly saw a man secretly placing his camera under the big sister's skirt. At this moment, Yulu was shocked. She rushed over in one step and pushed the man to the ground. The camera immediately fell to the side. The big sister, not knowing what was happening, looked back. At this time, Yulu picked up the camera, then told the big sister that a pervert was just taking upskirt photos of her. The big sister looked at Yulu with a sincere expression. People around started discussing the man who had been taking photos. What a pervert! So disgusting. At this moment, the man pointed at Yulu, accusing her of slander. He claimed he hadn't taken any photos but was assaulted and his camera was damaged. He then demanded Yulu pay $17,000 for his lens. Otherwise, he'd go to the police station. Seeing this, Yulu looked shocked. Of course, Yulu wouldn't be bullied so easily. She yelled at the man while preparing to hit him. At this moment, she was held back by the boy behind her, who reminded her to stay calm. Just then, a hand reached out to take the camera for a look. Yulu turned her head. She discovered that the big sister actually had a man's voice. The big sister was seen carefully examining the camera. Yulu's brain was still processing, recalling the man's voice from earlier. She thought, so this person is actually a cross-dressing guy. The cross-dressing guy then spoke, this is just a generic mirrorless camera. It's worth $3,000 at most. Then the cross-dressing guy looked up and noticed a surveillance camera nearby. So he said, whether there was any upskirt filming, we can ask the police to check the surveillance footage to be clear. He continued, and by the way, we can ask how to deal with extortion and blackmail. At this point, the man finally gave in. He hurriedly apologized and said they could talk it out. The cross-dressing guy then held the camera and asked the man to choose between handing over the memory card or going to the police station. The man quickly agreed to hand over the memory card. Yulu thought that the cross-dressing guy was probably worried about other girls' photos being on the memory card. At this moment, Yulu saw the cross-dressing guy turning to leave. She thought she hadn't said thank you yet and wanted to catch up, but she didn't notice the man who had been taking photos nearby. The man stuck out his foot, trying to trip Yulu. Yulu cried out, her hand instinctively reaching forward to find support. At this moment, her hand grabbed someone's clothes. Yulu tightly closed her eyes. The onlookers gasped in shock. It turned out that Yulu had pulled down the cross-dressing guy's skirt. At this moment, both of them were too shocked to speak. Yulu hurriedly apologized. Then she got up, helping the cross-dressing guy pull up his skirt while continuously apologizing. The cross-dressing guy, with a dark face, wanted him to let go. Yulu awkwardly released her hand. She watched as the cross-dressing guy hurriedly left. The cross-dressing guy looked back, his eyes revealing anger. Yulu was so scared she didn't dare make a sound. She felt like dying. In the dark night, Yulu lay in bed, sleeping deeply. In her sleep, she had a troubled expression. In Yulu's dream, that cross-dressing big sister wanted to peel off Yulu's skin to make a skirt, to be with her forever. Yulu ran while begging for mercy, saying she didn't mean to do it. At this moment, Yulu finally woke up from her dream. She sighed in relief, thinking it was just a dream. She lay quietly in bed, looking at the poster of Tomi on the wall. She mumbled that yesterday's incident was truly unintentional, asking Lord Tomi to relay this to her followers. In the morning, Yulu woke up feeling completely listless. She heard her roommate calling her to come and see. It turned out that the video of Yulu pulling down the skirt yesterday had gone viral today. Yulu sat down tiredly. Don't mention it, I had nightmares all night. I didn't sleep well at all. I hope it doesn't affect my work today. Song Ran, sitting nearby, finally understood the reason. I was wondering why you got up so early. The two toasted, wishing Yulu's first day at work would go smoothly. The subway station announced, Anime Park Station. Please remember your belongings. A pair of feet walked out. After exiting the subway, Yulu looked at her phone. A man approached her. Excuse me, which exit should I take to get to the anime building? As soon as he finished speaking, he seemed to remember something. This girl looks so familiar. Recalling yesterday's events, Miss, this pervert was just taking upskirt photos of you. Then her skirt was pulled down. But Yulu didn't notice this man. You want to go to the anime building, right? The man turned and walked away immediately. Yulu was confused. She quickly followed the man. I'm also going to the anime building. You can follow me. The man thought to himself, going with you will only bring bad luck. Clearly, Yulu couldn't keep up with the man's pace. She said, what a strange person. Arriving at the anime building, Yulu walked into the lobby. She told the receptionist she was the planning department's intern, here to report for duty. But the receptionist was not accommodating at all. The other two interns have already completed their onboarding procedures. You're the only one left. You just had to arrive right at the start of work hours. Yulu could only apologize. I'm sorry. I'll come earlier in the future. The man she met earlier also walked in. Hello, I'm Jung-E, the new director of the planning department. Where do I go to report? The receptionist immediately called out to Chun-Jie, who was about to leave. Director Jiang is here. Jiang-E turned his head to look. He found that this woman was also here. He said awkwardly, "It's you." Yulu also looked at Jiang-E awkwardly. Chun-Jie curiously asked, "Do you know each other?" However, Jiang-E said he didn't know her. "I'm sorry, it's my first day at work. I'm late." Yulu gloated on the side, saying if she had walked with him, she wouldn't have been late. Chun-Jie said, "This road is very congested during rush hour, and the company location is a bit out of the way. It's not easy to find for first-timers." Jiang-E came by subway because of the odd-even license plate rule. Chun-Jie quickly said, "Then it's even harder to find." Yulu thought to herself, this is such a double standard. At this moment, Chun-Jie introduced Yulu. "This is Director Jiang, the new director of our department." Yulu couldn't believe that this person, who didn't seem very bright, was actually her superior. Inside the anime building, Chun-Jie introduced to Jiang-E that this floor was the planning department. Then she led Jiang-E to his office. She said with a smile, "Director Jiang, please get to work. Let me know if you need anything." Jiang-E casually expressed his thanks. Then Chun-Jie turned around. She unceremoniously told Yulu to follow him. Yulu thought, what a quick change of face. At this moment, Jiang-E saw Yulu's personal resume on the desk. He thought, this is really haunting me. Suddenly, he looked up and found Yulu staring at him. Their eyes met again. Yulu thought, indeed, every boss loves to monitor employees. Even someone this handsome is no exception. Jiang-E wondered if Yulu was staring at him, because she recognized him from the comic convention. Jiang-E looked down at Yulu's resume again. Then, Jiang-E called his subordinate to arrange a meeting room, stating that the planning department would have a meeting at 10:30. Now in the conference hall, after introducing himself, Jiang-E said that from today on, he would be the director of the planning department. He explained that the purpose of this meeting was to quickly get to know everyone. A young man had already started introducing himself. His name was Zhou Hao, the current leader of the first group in the planning department. Meanwhile, Yulu was still holding her work badge, lost in thought. She completely missed Director Jiang calling for the next person. Director Jiang called Yulu's name again. Hearing this, Yulu quickly stood up to introduce herself, stating that she was a new intern in the planning department. Director Jiang questioned, saying that looking at Yulu's resume, she had no prior experience in planning comic conventions. Yulu explained that she was an anime enthusiast and had attended almost every comic convention organized by Shinmon since high school. Then she said that working for Shinmon's comic conventions was her dream. At this moment, Director Jiang recalled the scene of the skirt-pulling incident that day. He then asked Yulu, since she was an anime enthusiast, what anime work she particularly liked. Yulu excitedly replied that her favorite was Tomi by Junji Ito. She continued, saying she had seen a cosplayer perfectly portraying Tomi a few days ago. Jiang felt like he had been hit by a bullet. He accidentally snapped the pen in his hand, thinking Yulu's words were intentional, believing he had been recognized. With a dark face, he announced the meeting was over. In the end, he added a few words, saying that character comes before work, and he disliked people who gossip behind others' backs the most. At this point, the employees below looked at Director Jiang with confused faces. They only heard Director Jiang continue, saying that once discovered, such behavior would be immediately dealt with. Director Jiang's gaze fixed on Yulu. Yulu looked puzzled, but responded that she understood. Then she heard Director Jiang dismiss the meeting. Yulu sat there in a daze. Yulu thought about how Jiang-E had been looking at her the whole time, assuming he was warning her not to tell anyone about him getting lost and being late. In the planning department corridor, Jiang-E walked irritably. Suddenly, he heard someone calling him from behind. He turned around and found it was Yulu. Yulu quickly approached, saying that although she had just graduated and lacked work experience, she truly loved this job and would do her best in the future. Jiang Yi turned back, said I know, and was about to leave. Yu Lu moved closer, telling Director Jiang not to worry. Then she promised that only the two of them knew about Director Jiang's situation, and she wouldn't tell anyone. After saying this, she indicated she was going to work, leaving Jiang Yi standing there speechless. As Yu Lu walked away, she thought to herself, now he should be at ease. Jiang Yi, however, thought Yu Lu had caught his weakness and was feeling smug about it. At this moment, Jiang Yi seemed to have come up with a plan. Lulu, I'm back. I brought your package too. Song Ran poked her head out from the room door. To her surprise, Yu Lu's expression was full of resentment. Song Ran couldn't help but ask, you left full of confidence. Why do you look so worried now? Yu Lu sighed. Our director asked me, a new intern, to come up with a project plan, and it's due on Wednesday. This morning, I also met a strange man who asked me for directions but didn't listen, and then he was late. Song Ran laughed. Well, he deserves it then, huh? However, Yu Lu's expression became even more gloomy. At this point, Song Ran realized something. This weirdo isn't your director, is he? Yu Lu smiled and admitted it. Yu Lu's expression became somewhat relieved. Luckily, I was smart enough to quickly make amends with him. I didn't let things get worse. I want to do a good job on the project plan, satisfy the director, and improve his impression of me. But now my mind is a mess. I don't have any ideas at all. Yu Lu was on the verge of tears. Song Ran patted Yu Lu's shoulder, comforting her. Since you don't have much experience in planning, don't try to force professionalism. Try approaching it from the perspective of what you like and know best. Yu Lu lowered her head and thought, what I like and know best isn't what I like most, Tomi. In Yu Lu's mind, the image of the man cosplaying as Tomi that day appeared, suddenly inspiring her. The next morning, Jiang Yi came to the water dispenser to get water. At this time, Yu Lu approached. Director Jiang, you're here for water too? Jiang Yi turned to look at her, thinking she was his nightmare, but could only respond with a nod. Yu Lu excitedly asked, Director, do you know Junji Ito? How do you interpret the character Tomi? Jiang Yi, who was drinking water, almost had a heart attack hearing this. Jiang Yi glanced at Yu Lu, thinking, is the plan not good enough, so she's trying to play tricks? Trying to get by? Yu Lu was confused, wondering what trick she was playing. Jiang Yi, embarrassed and angry, thought this woman was deliberately asking. He left with his thermos, saying, you know what you're doing. Left behind, Yu Lu thought, he's so angry. Does he not like Tomi? If so, I'm in trouble later. In the meeting room, Jiang Yi looked around and said, since everyone's here, let's begin. Who wants to go first? A voice next to Yu Lu said, I'll go first. Yu Lu watched Tung Yao speak confidently, admiring her. As expected of an experienced planner, her project plan is complete and professional. However, Jiang Yi frowned after listening and commented, it's conventional, lacking highlights. Others in the meeting room instantly panicked. Yu Lu thought, if this is considered worthless in Jiang Yi's eyes, won't mine be torn apart? As if her fears were coming true, Jiang Yi said, next Yu Lu. Yu Lu. Yu Lu reluctantly went forward to explain her plan. My theme today is a Tomi cosplay contest. Last week at the comic convention hosted by Shinmon, I met a male cosplayer dressed as Tomi. Hearing this, Jiang Yi's face immediately changed. His costume was particularly stunning and gave me inspiration. At this point, Yu Lu looked at Jiang Yi beside her, her eyes full of hope for his approval. However, this expression in Jiang Yi's eyes seemed to say, let's all go down together. Feeling a chill down his spine, Jiang Yi immediately exploded, shouting at Yu Lu, you come with me? Yu Lu looked at Jiang Yi's expression, thinking he really doesn't like Tomi. In the office, Jiang Yi coldly stared at Yu Lu in front of him. What exactly do you want? Yu Lu was also confused by the question. What do I want? Her slightly trembling body revealed her current panicked state of mind. Jiang Yi, angered, slammed the table and stood up. Leaning towards Yu Lu, he said, at this point, playing dumb isn't funny anymore. Just then, a young man appeared at the door calling Jiang Yi's name. The young man looked at the two people in the office, seemingly in an ambiguous situation. He smiled and said, I seem to have come at a bad time. Only then did Jiang Yi and Yu Lu come to their senses, realizing how close they were standing. They immediately straightened up, but their slightly reddened cheeks were hard to explain away. Jiang Yi changed the subject, asking the young man at the door, what are you here for? He crossed his arms. He wants to have an online meeting with us. Just a reminder, Shimon doesn't allow office romances. Jiang Yi and Yu Lu both exclaimed in unison. We're not. Yu Lu explained. Director Jiang doesn't like my Tomi cosplay-themed project plan. Yi-pin was stunned. How could he not like it? Before Yi-pin could finish, Jiang Yi suddenly interrupted. Yu Lu, you go back first. After Yu Lu left, Jiang Yi opened the online meeting and looked at Yi-pin. Aren't we having a meeting? Why are you dawdling? Yi-pin sat directly on Jiang Yi's desk. Yu thinks the company's recent plans are all overused cliché copyright-s. Today's meeting is about this. Yi-pin then spoke to the video. Director Yu, I just saw an interesting activity in the planning department. Yu was curious. What activity? Yi-pin replied, a Tomi cosplay contest. Jiang Yi stood up angrily, glaring at Yi-pin as if saying, are you crazy? To his surprise, Yu found the idea interesting. Jiang Yi, implement this project plan. Jiang Yi wanted to say more, but found that Yu had already hung up. Yi-pin put his arm around Jiang Yi's shoulder. You're just hung up because she pulled your skirt, right? Now you have a chance to work together and resolve this. Jiang Yi angrily shrugged off Yi-pin's hand. You're such a good friend. Yi-pin smiled mischievously. Well, you're busy. I'll go first. Jiang Yi rudely said, get lost. Shortly after Yi-pin left, Yu Lu knocked on Jiang Yi's door. Seeing Yu Lu again, Jiang Yi flared up. What do you want? Yu Lu explained. Director, he said you have a new project to discuss with me. Jiang Yi took out Yu Lu's proposal. You think your plan is interesting. Go refine the plan and submit it to me tomorrow. Is this real? Yu Lu's expression was full of disbelief. Jiang Yi rubbed his forehead, feeling a headache. What do you think? Getting a positive answer, Yu Lu was overjoyed. Thank you, Director Jiang, for this opportunity. I'll work hard on it. Jiang Yi reminded her again. Write down all your ideas about this activity. Don't miss any details. Yu Lu immediately stood straight, promising to complete the task. After Yu Lu left, Jiang Yi looked at her documents in his hand, muttering, I'll let you stay a few more days. That night, Jiang Yi fell asleep on his desk. In his dream, he found Tomi standing in front of him. Jiang Yi reached out to stop her. Unexpectedly, when the figure turned around, it was Yu Lu's face. Jiang Yi was stunned. Why is it your face? The Yu Lu in the dream slowly approached Jiang Yi. Because you're thinking about this face. When Jiang Yi woke up again, it was already bright outside. Jiang Yi sat up straight, rubbing his sore neck. He couldn't help but grumble. She really is haunting me. Arriving at the company, Jiang Yi raised his hand to open the door of the planning department. However, the scene inside scared him so much that he dropped all his documents. He saw a familiar figure standing inside, the silhouette exactly like the one in his dream last night. The girl turned around upon hearing the noise. It was Yu Lu herself. Yu Lu smiled at Jiang. Good morning, Director Jiang. However, Jiang Yi was speechless at this moment. After coming to his senses, Jiang Yi frowned and asked, What are you doing dressed like this? Yu Lu smiled and lifted her skirt slightly, experiencing what it's like to play Tomi. It's called immersive work. Jiang Yi sat down, rubbing his forehead in distress. Seeing this, Yu Lu asked, Are you feeling unwell, Director Jiang? Jiang Yi glared at Yu Lu, thinking, it'd be weird if I felt well. Jiang Yi, in an unpleasant mood, looked at Yu Lu in front of him. If you have something to say, just say it. Yu Lu opened her hand, revealing a USB drive. I'm here to report on the work Director Jiang assigned yesterday. A moment later, Yu Lu said, Report complete, Director Jiang. Jiang Yi pinched his neck and commented, Your entire PPT is written haphazardly, without a clear structure. Your work can stop here. I'll handle the rest. Yu Lu panicked a bit and tried to argue. Director Jiang, I know I have many shortcomings, but I can improve. Jiang Yi thought Yu Lu was worried he would steal credit for her plan. Don't worry, I won't take credit for your work. When submitting the proposal, your name will definitely be before mine. Yu Lu explained, That's not what I care about. Jiang Yi looked up at her. Yu Lu continued, I've never worked with a professional to complete a full project plan before. This is the first time. I don't want to just be the person who researches. I want to work with Director Jiang to do it well. Yu Lu's expression carried a hint of pleading. Director Jiang, please give me a chance. Jiang Yi was surprised, not expecting her to be so photogenic. Just then his phone rang. Jiang Yi looked down and saw it was his mother calling. Jiang Yi looked up at Yu Lu and said, You can go out first. I'll find you later. Yu Lu couldn't help but look back as she reached the door. She saw Jiang Yi covering his face, leaning on the desk. The atmosphere around him seemed to have become gloomy. At this time, Yi-pin came to Jiang Yi's office again. He approached and teased, Good morning, Director Jiang. Hearing the noise, Jiang Yi looked up and glared at He-Pin. Why are you here so early too? He-Pin narcissistically touched his hair. How is that possible? Someone was here even earlier. Who's so eager? Your secret admirer? Jiang Yi replied, that's not certain. Remembering something, He-Pin said, your mom, my aunt called me. It's not good to keep things tense like this. You should find time to go back and see her. Jiang Yi frowned, as if remembering something unpleasant, but he still said he understood. As He-Pin was leaving after their chat, he saw Yulu looking expectantly at Jiang Yi's office. He-Pin couldn't help but tease. Oh, looking for your future husband? Yulu only then noticed He-Pin beside her and greeted him. After speaking, Yulu couldn't help but look towards Jiang Yi's door again. Seeing through Yulu's thoughts, He-Pin said, don't worry. Your director Jiang particularly likes Tomi. Your project will definitely be successful. Yulu relaxed a bit. Really? Then I'll take your word for it. Director He. At this moment, Jiang Yi inside the office waved for Yulu to come in. Yulu immediately bounced over. He-Pin took in the scene. Jiang Yi usually acts all proper and gentlemanly, but his true nature is exposed with this young girl. This will be interesting to watch. Inside the office, Yulu looked at the documents in her hand, extremely happy. She repeatedly thanked Jiang Yi, promising she would work hard. After work in the evening, Yulu stood at the bus stop waiting for the bus. Alone, she caught the attention of a man nearby. The man approached with a lewd smile. Sister, are you alone? Who knows when this bus will come? Let me call a taxi to take you home. Seeing this, Yulu immediately stepped back, replying with disgust. No need. However, the man persisted and reached out to touch Yulu. It's so cold today. Let me block the wind for you, sister. His actions frightened Yulu, who immediately shouted, go away. At this moment, a car stopped in front of them. The lewd man was startled and stopped his advances. In the glaring headlights, a tall figure walked towards Yulu. The newcomer turned out to be Jiang Yi. He stood in front of Yulu. Yulu, I'm here to pick you up. Yulu thought to herself. This was the first time she had seen Jiang Yi smile. The moment he smiled, it was as if the sky had suddenly brightened. Let's go, Jiang Yi said. His alluring voice made Yulu's heart race uncontrollably. Yulu obediently followed Jiang Yi and left. The car slowly drove through the night. Jiang Yi advised, in the future, when you're alone outside at night, don't be so reckless. Either ask for help from people nearby or call the police quickly. Yulu lowered her head upon hearing this. Then Yulu realized something and looked at Jiang Yi, asking, Director Jiang, are you worried about me? Jiang Yi didn't look at her and said, I'm just too kind-hearted, that's all. Yulu couldn't help but think to herself, he likes Tomi, but pretends to dislike her. Wants to be a good person, but acts tough. Such a tsundere. As the atmosphere in the car became awkward, Jiang Yi reached out to turn on the music. Hearing this song, Yulu was surprised and a bit dazed. She couldn't help but turn to look at Jiang Yi. Feeling her gaze, Jiang Yi couldn't help but ask, what's wrong? Why are you looking at me like that? Yulu softly explained, when I was little, I first heard this piano piece in a bookstore. It was the girl with flaxen hair. Later, the person I liked also played it. Jiang Yi unconsciously gripped the steering wheel tighter. He instinctively asked, the person you liked? Yulu continued, in my freshman year, I snuck into the senior graduation party. As soon as I entered, I saw a senior playing this piece on stage. At that moment, it was as if the melody from my childhood had traversed time and space, exploding in my ears. It was as if I saw dazzling fireworks, or the twinkling stars of the universe. I still remember the rhythm of my heartbeat at that moment. From then on, he became my ideal love. Yulu couldn't help but close her eyes and reminisce. Jiang Yi, listening beside her, felt this story was somewhat familiar. He couldn't help but recall as well. On graduation day, his roommate put an arm around his shoulder. We're about to graduate, Jiang Yi. You can't leave without showing off your skills, right? The classmates nearby also chimed in. Jiang Yi, play something? Not knowing what to play, Jiang Yi finally chose the girl with flaxen hair. So her ideal love is me? How could such a coincidence happen? Jiang Yi couldn't quite believe it. Should he confess now? Jiang Yi turned to look at Yulu beside him. Senior, I've had a crush on you for a long time. Everything I've done was to get close to you. Could you like me back? Jiang Yi, who was still immersed in his fantasy, heard Yulu sigh and continue. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see his face clearly before security kicked me out. I still don't know who he is. Hearing this, Jiang Yi trembled with anger. With his dreams shattered, Jiang Yi said, so you're saying that for all these years, you've been in love with someone whose face you didn't see clearly and whose name you don't know? Yulu gave him a thumbs up. As expected of Director Jiang, perfect summarizing ability. Jiang Yi was speechless, his mouth twitching. I've really seen it all now. Jiang Yi glanced at Yu Lu, thinking to himself, this is for the best. Having her around is suffocating enough. I certainly don't want to have any emotional entanglements with her. As they arrived and Yu Lu got out of the car, she said, thank you for driving me, Director Jiang. Drive safely. I'll treat you to a meal another day. Just as Yu Lu reached her doorstep, she saw two uniformed personnel standing there. They noticed Yu Lu and asked, do you live here? Yu Lu thought to herself, oh no, they're here to check on illegal rentals. I don't live here. I have a poor sense of direction. I came to the wrong place. After saying this, Yu Lu immediately lowered her head and started rummaging through her bag. At this moment, Yu Lu thought of something and took out her phone to call Jiang Yi. When the call connected, Yu Lu didn't give the other side a chance to speak and said directly, hello, honey, I'm lost. Can you come pick me up? After waiting for a while, Yu Lu became a bit anxious. Would Jiang Yi not come? Just then, footsteps were heard on the stairs. Jiang Yi appeared, looking full of resentment. Yu Lu happily went forward and hugged Jiang Yi. Honey, you finally came? Confused by the situation, Jiang Yi asked, what are you doing? At this point, the two staff members suspiciously asked, aren't you her husband? Yu Lu, hugging Jiang Yi, whispered very softly, Director Jiang, please help me. Can you help me get out of this situation for now? Yu Lu glanced at the two staff members, hinting at the situation. Understanding Yu Lu's meaning, Jiang Yi put his hand on her shoulder. My wife isn't well mentally. She often acts crazy. Sorry for troubling you two officers. I'll take her back now. Hearing this, Yu Lu gritted her teeth in anger, but endured it for her own sake. Having escaped danger, Yu Lu couldn't help but sigh in relief. Jiang Yi finally asked, what did you do to have the police come to your door? Yu Lu sat on the stairs, her tone a bit low. They're here to check on shared rentals. I'm afraid to go home now. Hearing this, Jiang Yi teased, well, don't you know that shared rentals are illegal? Yu Lu explained that she had no choice. This was the only place with cheap rent when she was looking for a place. If she had options, who would want to live here? Jiang Yi was stunned after hearing this, unable to say anything for a moment. After coming to his senses, Jiang Yi looked at Yu Lu and said, fine, where you live is none of my business. Wait in the car. You can go back when the police leave. At this point, Yu Lu suggested, we don't know how long the police will stay. It's embarrassing to have Director Jiang wait with me all this time. So, let me treat you to a late-night snack. Jiang Yi retorted, you didn't seem embarrassed when you called me honey and took advantage of me earlier. Yu Lu blushed and said, that was out of necessity, wasn't it? Let's go. If we wait any longer, we won't be able to eat. Yu Lu led Jiang Yi to a nearby food street. Jiang Yi, who had been pampered since childhood, had never been to such a place. He couldn't help but say, how can there be anything good to eat in a place like this? I've saved you twice now. Is this how you repay me, Yu Lu? Yu Lu used reverse psychology. Director Jiang, you're not afraid to eat here, are you? Hearing this, Jiang Yi took the bait immediately. What's there to be afraid of? Looking at the exasperated Jiang Yi beside her, Yu Lu couldn't help but marvel. Indeed, reverse psychology works best on tsunderas. She stepped forward and grabbed Jiang Yi's hand. Jiang Yi felt the soft touch in his hand and was momentarily stunned. Before he could react, Yu Lu led him towards the food street. She first ordered 2 portions of stinky tofu. Jiang Yi immediately shook his head, saying he didn't want any. Yu Lu handed the stinky tofu to him, saying it was already ordered. Jiang Yi insisted he didn't want it. Yu Lu picked up a piece of stinky tofu, about to feed Jiang Yi. Director Jiang, why are you acting like a stubborn child? Jiang Yi, irritated, warned, watch your words. Be careful what you say. Yu Lu fearlessly replied, you can't control me outside of work hours. Yu Lu held the 2 portions of stinky tofu and persuaded again. Director Jiang, trust me. It only smells bad, but it tastes really good. Jiang Yi bluntly replied, your credibility with me is already 0. Yu Lu confidently spoke again. Director Jiang, how about we make a deal? If you eat 1 bite of this stinky tofu, I'll grant you any request. Jiang Yi, shamefully tempted, said, in the future, don't wear that Fujiang outfit. Yu Lu readily agreed. All right, no problem. I keep my word. She then picked up a piece of stinky tofu. Try it, how is it? Jiang Yi closed his eyes and reluctantly ate it. The first bite made him realize how delicious it was. Although it was very tasty, Jiang Yi still stubbornly said, it's okay. Yu Lu looked at him, knowing he was being tsundere again. Yeah, right, keep pretending. Boss, 2 vermicelli sausages, please. The meteor once. Half an hour later, Yulu walked in front, entering full eating mode. Jiang Yi looked at the stinky tofu in his hand. From childhood, his family had always required him to follow rules, to always restrain his desires. He had never been so carefree before. On this ordinary night, it was as if a hidden switch had been flipped. Something was awakening. At this moment, Yulu turned back to look at Jiang Yi. What are you daydreaming about? I've been calling you for a while, and you didn't respond. Jiang Yi snapped back to reality. It's nothing. Let's go. What else is there ahead? Buy it for me to eat. At this point, Jiang Yi felt a bit grateful that he had been kind enough to save her today. However, this scene was captured by someone in the corner. The man looked at the photo on his phone and smiled. Now let's see what you have to say. The next day, Jiang Yi, who came to get water, ran into Yulu again. As he approached, Yulu noticed the band-aid on Jiang Yi's hand. Director Jiang, did you go to the hospital for this morning? Did you get sick from eating street food? Yulu asked worriedly. Jiang Yi stubbornly replied, who said I ate street food? This is all because you stress me out. You can't even write a good proposal, and I have to worry about you every day. At this moment, another colleague entered the pantry. Jiang Yi took this opportunity to leave. Yulu couldn't help but grumble. What a delicate yet stubborn princess. The female colleague beside her held Yulu back. When you're with Director Jiang at the company, it's better to keep a low profile. Yulu looked confused. The female colleague smiled and said, it's nothing. I've got this. Let's go back. Back at her workstation, Yulu checked the group messages. She saw that Jiang Yi had organized a meeting to revise the proposal, but didn't invite her. Yulu muttered, so he was just putting on an act earlier. Suddenly, an abrupt voice came from beside her. All this pretense. Who's it for anyway? Yulu looked towards the voice. Tung Yao spoke up. Chunin, what nonsense are you talking about? Chunin glanced at Yulu. Our two professional proposals were completely rejected by Director Jiang, while this person with no planning experience gets her proposal immediately approved. What do you think is the reason? Yulu turned around. What do you mean? Chunin continued sarcastically. I'm so envious of you. Why couldn't I be a woman? Maybe it would be my project being proposed today. Yulu stood up angrily. Director Jiang and I are not in that kind of relationship. He helped me with something, so I just treated him to a meal. Chunin still didn't believe it. And after the meal, which hotel did you go to? At this moment, Jiang Yi's voice came. Chunin, you have 3 minutes to pack your things and process your resignation. If you're not done in 3 minutes, I'll personally escort you out. Chunin shouted. On what grounds? I haven't violated any rules in the Xingman Employee Handbook. You have no right to fire me over this. The rules of Xingman's planning department are now set by me. The first time you reported, you copied designs from your previous company. I didn't point it out to save your face. Jiang Yi raised his hand to look at his watch. You have 2 minutes left. Chunin angrily smashed his keyboard. I've long wanted to quit. Even if this lousy company begged me, I wouldn't stay. Jiang Yi reminded him. When you process your resignation, remember to compensate for the keyboard and mouse. That's all. Everyone get back to work. Tung Yao looked worriedly at Yulu. Yulu was visibly upset and said she needed to go to the restroom. In the hallway, Yulu sat on the stairs, burying her head deep in her arms. At this time, Jiang Yi opened the emergency exit door. I've been looking for you. Hearing his voice, Yulu raised her head, wiped her tears, and asked, Director Jiang, did you need something? Jiang Yi didn't say anything, just handed her a tissue. There's no one else around. Keep crying if you need to. Yulu's eyes filled with tears again. I don't understand why I'm being slandered when I haven't done anything wrong. Jiang Yi sat down next to Yulu. The more chances you have to succeed, the more people will attack you. It was the same for me when I first started working. The more others thought I couldn't do it, the more I wanted to do well. Once I achieved results, all those voices disappeared. Yulu looked up at Jiang. Hey, so you think my proposal can succeed? Director Jiang, you actually really like Fujiang, don't you? Hearing this, Jiang Yi stood up again. Don't overthink it. If you can't do the proposal well, you'll be the next one to go. After saying this, Jiang Yi left without looking back at her. Yulu suddenly gathered her courage and shouted at the man's retreating back. I will definitely come up with great planning ideas. At this moment, a news notification popped up on her phone about the opening of a holographic projection experience hall. Seeing this news, Yulu suddenly had an inspiration. If we could create a Fujiang holographic projection, it would be really exciting. But just a 2D character wouldn't be fresh enough. Jiang Yi incredulously asked his assistant, what team building? What do we need to do? Is everyone going? The assistant explained softly. Each department in the company has a quarterly team-building activity. The planning department's director position has been vacant for a long time, so the team building has been postponed. As they walked and talked, the assistant asked, "Is this weekend suitable for Director Jiang?" After a moment of contemplation, Jiang calmly replied, "Don't use weekend time for team building. We'll go on Friday." At this, the entire department cheered happily. Long live Director Jiang. Long live! Hearing this, Jiang Yi and his assistant looked at everyone speechlessly, not knowing what to say. As long as they're satisfied, it's fine. After returning to his office, Jiang Yi was carefully organizing documents. These files couldn't afford any mistakes. Suddenly, Yulu peeked half her body through the door. She sweetly asked, "Director Jiang, do you have a moment? I'd like to report on the progress of the proposal." Yulu walked forward, looking as if work had drained her completely. With a thud, she placed the files on the desk and said, "Director Jiang, please take a look at this new proposal." Jiang Yi examined her and concluded, "Did you go grave robbing last night?" Yulu looked at Jiang Yi and said lightly, "Organizing a comic exhibition is like dating. Without passion, it's easy for people to feel bored. So, we can use a fresh point to stimulate everyone." Hearing this, Jiang Yi couldn't help but stare at her, constantly pondering something in his mind. He saw the person before him dressed brightly, with curly hair like a Barbie doll, still looking at him with innocent big eyes. So Jiang Yi asked in return, "What? Do you have a lot of dating experience?" While picking up her document to examine it carefully, Yu Lu internally screamed, "That's not the point. The point is my proposal." She earnestly explained to Jiang Yi, "At comic exhibitions, people cosplay as 2D characters. We'll do the opposite. Let's bring 2D characters to life. Use holographic imaging to create an immersive Fujiang exhibition. We'll do it in 3 steps. 1. Fujiang, different forms, different poses of Fujiang. Let comic fans fully experience this eerie atmosphere." Jiang Yi looked at Yu Lu dissatisfied. "Is that all? No other creative points?" At this point, Yu Lu said dramatically, "There's one more important point, also the most eye-catching one. I guarantee Director Jiang will be very surprised." Jiang Yi closed his eyes and sighed. "You're speaking so slowly. I've seen all kinds of proposals." Suddenly hearing a noise, he abruptly opened his eyes and looked at Yu Lu opposite him. Yu Lu was holding a huge poster, introducing to Jiang Yi, "Among dozens of virtual Fujiangs, we'll hide one boss, one real cosplayer." Yu Lu explained, "It's like opening a blind box. No one can resist a hidden item." Her eyes sparkled as she looked at Jiang Yi. Pointing at the poster, she praised, "This is the most perfect cosplayer I've ever seen. If we can find him and invite him to participate, he'll definitely be the highlight of the event." After Yu Lu finished her introduction, she immediately stood straight and asked, "Director Jiang, what do you think?" At this moment, Jiang Yi looked at her speechlessly, constantly thinking, "She clearly knows that's me. Why is she saying this? Is she trying to get revenge because I made her deliver the card?" However, Yu Lu's thoughts were different. She thought Director Jiang's silence meant he thought finding this cosplayer would be difficult and didn't want to spend the effort. After thinking for a moment, Yu Lu took out a pre-prepared video. "Director Jiang, take a look at this. This video from the comic exhibition went viral before. Watch it a few times, and you'll fall in love with him." As she introduced, she moved closer, still trying to argue. "Director Jiang, I really think this proposal is highly feasible. Please consider it, Director Jiang." Jiang Yi angrily shouted, "Consider what? Go think of other proposals quickly." After being criticized, Yu Lu wilted like a once thriving grass. She said in a low voice, "Okay, I understand." In the evening, during the team building, Yu Lu sat alone in front of the tent, sadly pondering something. Her friend came up to her and asked concernedly, "Why have you been so absent-minded these days? Did something happen?" Yu Lu sighed heavily and said sadly, "I'm fine. Everything's good and normal." Her friend squatted down, put an arm around her shoulder, and said, "If you keep going like this, you'll become dumb. Come play with us." Only after Yu Lu sat among them did she realize they were playing truth or dare. They had an eager-to-learn expression, watching every player who was chosen. Yu Lu suddenly felt a bit uneasy, thinking something was odd. Just then a player was punished to drink. The game started again. After the bottle spun wildly, it finally slowly stopped. Surprisingly, it pointed at Yulu. They exclaimed, "Truth or dare?" After thinking for a moment, Yulu said reluctantly, "Let's go with truth." So they all looked at Yulu. Someone started to ask, "When did you first meet Director Jiang?" Yulu looked at them embarrassedly and immediately changed her mind. "I'll take the drink instead." She boldly picked up the glass and downed it in one go. As each round began, it surprisingly always pointed to Yulu. So they started asking, "What's your and Director Jiang's zodiac sign? What's your and Director Jiang's blood type? Do you and Director Jiang have any further plans?" She predictably chose to drink for all of them, until she finally couldn't hold on anymore. She struggled to stand up, waved at them, indicating she wasn't feeling well and needed to get some fresh air. She walked to the hilltop, secretly complaining to herself, "Luckily I can hold my liquor, otherwise I couldn't have handled it. Gossip is really harmful." As she wandered aimlessly, suddenly there was a sound behind her. She was scared and didn't dare to look back. Suddenly, her hand was grabbed by someone. It turned out to be Jiang Yi, who grabbed her wrist. He even covered Yulu's mouth, afraid she might scream. Yulu looked at Jiang Yi puzzled. "What is Director Jiang doing here so late at night?" Jiang Yi awkwardly rubbed his neck and explained softly, "I'm rescuing a cat. Just now, when he went to get medicine, the kitten ran away." So Yulu squatted down, indicating she could help look too. Suddenly, she heard a sound. She hurriedly looked ahead. It was the injured kitten. She shouted loudly to Jiang Yi, "The kitten's found. Come quick and see." She held onto a rock with one hand and reached out to the kitten with the other. She called softly, "Nini, come here." The kitten trembled as it moved forward, but it kept crying out in pain, having difficulty moving. After carefully observing the kitten, Yulu discovered its leg was broken. She became anxious. At this point, she didn't bother holding onto the rock and carefully reached out both hands towards the kitten. Suddenly, her foot slipped, causing her to fall forward uncontrollably. Just as she was about to fall, she hugged the kitten. She protected the kitten in her arms while her body was involuntarily falling forward. At this critical moment, a hand reached out to Yulu. It was Jiang Yi who saved them. The kitten meowed gratefully in his arms. Yulu finally dared to open her eyes. She looked at the ground fearfully, relieved she hadn't fallen. Jiang Yi, panting, leaned against the wall. He said worriedly, "Be careful." Yulu happily thanked him. "Thank you, Director Jiang, for saving my life." Jiang Yi looked at her with disdain. After treatment, the kitten was no longer in pain and was licking its paws. Yulu sighed. "I didn't know Director Jiang was so caring. If only I could have a bit of that care, then I wouldn't always say and do the wrong things." After Yulu finished her sentimental speech, she stared at him and heaved a heavy sigh. Jiang Yi looked at her speechlessly. He felt she was intentionally or unintentionally targeting him, but he didn't know why. Before he could think it through, Yulu was already pointing at his nose and scolding. "Jiang Yi, you're really hard to please." Jiang Yi looked at Yulu and asked puzzledly, "Have you been drinking?" Yulu embarrassedly defended, "Just a little. I'm not drunk." Jiang Yi helplessly twitched his mouth. "All drunk people in the world say that." He signaled it was time to go back. Suddenly, a sharp pain shot through her leg. Jiang Yi quickly asked, "What's wrong?" Yulu frowned and said she might have twisted it earlier. So Jiang Yi squatted down, carefully examined it, and asked, "Does it hurt here?" Yulu said it wasn't too bad. After checking, Jiang Yi said softly, "It's okay. The bone isn't injured. Let's make do for now and re-bandage it when we get back." After saying this, Jiang Yi turned and squatted down. He tilted his head, telling Yulu to get on. He said, "Today I'll share a bit of that care with you. I'll carry you back." He carried the kitten in front and Yulu on his back, muttering, "You should be grateful. You're benefiting from the kitten's luck." 20 minutes later, Yulu asked confusedly, "Did the tents move to the mountaintop?" Another 20 minutes later, Yulu asked again puzzledly, "Did the tents move to the riverside?" At this point, the dizzy Yulu asked, "Why did we stop?" Jiang Yi thought to himself in frustration. He couldn't find a way, and this drunk was of no help. After thinking for a moment, he gently put Yulu down and said, "Let's look at the moon for a while." Yulu cupped her face with both hands and said happily, "The moon is so beautiful. The stars are beautiful too." She then turned to Jiang Yi and said, "You're beautiful too." Jiang Yi said to her seriously, "As long as you don't mention what happened at the comic exhibition, we'll call it even." He looked at Yulu and shouted, "How about it? Do you agree?" The drunk Yulu wasn't listening. Jiang Yi said from the side, "This is the only olive branch I'm offering." Yulu hiccuped and repeated brokenly, "As long as you agree, comic exhibition. She reached out her hand groggily and said confidently, "Let's pinky swear." Jiang cooperatively reached out his hand to pinky swear with her and said, "No changing for 100 years. Yu Lu promised on the side, "Won't change." Yu Lu suddenly fell on his body. Jiang looked at her closed eyes and asked puzzledly, "Did she fall asleep?" At this moment, voices came from behind Jiang, shouting loudly, "Director Jiang and Yu Lu." Jiang quickly answered, "We're here." They hurriedly rushed towards Jiang, but found them in a close embrace. They kept exclaiming, "Will we be silenced after seeing this?" They looked so happy together. At this moment, Jiang Yi's mind flashed to Yu Lu. Even when drunk, she could still cause him trouble. She truly had a special talent. The next morning, in the building, the leader praised, "The idea of Fujian cosplay is very good. I plan to make it a key project for the second half of the year. Call in the intern who registered the proposal for a meeting." Yu Lu arrived at the office with the proposal. She nervously looked at them, cold sweat breaking out on her forehead. The three of them stood in front of her, waiting for her to start explaining the details of the proposal. Yu Lu hurriedly handed over the document, explaining, "This weekend, I prepared a detailed proposal. President, you can take a look first." President Yu took it and carefully flipped through it, saying with satisfaction, "This is quite interesting." Yu Lu happily told President Yu on the side, "Director Jiang has also agreed to this proposal." Jiang looked at Yu Lu puzzledly, but he didn't ask her anything. Suddenly, the leader seemed to discover something and looked at the photo in the file with confusion. President Yu picked up the photo and said to everyone, "Contact this girl. She's quite pretty." Jiang instantly froze on the spot. President Yu looked at him puzzledly, not understanding what had happened. He quickly waved his hands, explaining to the boss, "It's nothing, nothing." He's just stunned by how beautiful this girl is. As he spoke, he pushed Jiang away, saying sincerely, "President Yu, we'll go find her right away." Jiang dissatisfiedly asked Pin. He put his hands on his hips and explained, "I'm afraid you might dispose of Yu Lu's body on the spot." Jiang sighed helplessly. "I'm used to her back-and-forth schemes. I'd be falling in her trap if I cared." Yu Lu, standing nearby, couldn't hold back and anxiously asked, "What did I do?" Pin asked her, "Did you recognize who that cosplayer was or not?" President Yu's eyes are so sharp, yet he didn't recognize it. "How did you see it?" Yu Lu innocently explained, "I've heard him speak. It's easy to recognize. So not only is his appearance stunning, but his real identity is even more intriguing. For the comic exhibition, it would definitely be a huge surprise." Jiang hurriedly said loudly, "Of course not." So Pin acted as a referee. "Now let's hear from both sides." Yu Lu said fiercely, "President Yu has already agreed to this plan." Jiang retorted, "I'm the director of the planning department. I have the final say. It's not happening." Yu Lu hurriedly explained, "You agreed too. That day on the mountain, you said you'd agree to the comic exhibition. I don't remember anything else, but I remember this clearly. How can you go back on your word?" Jiang immediately refuted, "You're the one going back on your word. Not only that, but you're also spreading rumors. You clearly promised not to mention what happened at the comic exhibition." Yu Lu instantly questioned, "What happened at the comic exhibition? Hasn't it not even started yet?" "Director Jiang, you shouldn't judge me for something that hasn't happened yet. After this, I won't participate in any proposals related to Fujian. I'll do as Director Jiang wishes and go back to just researching materials." Jiang looked at Yu Lu with a gloomy face. "Is this how you talk to your superior?" Seeing their argument getting more intense, Pin hurriedly stepped forward to separate them. He asked Yu Lu if anything interesting happened at the last comic exhibition she attended, saying he was working on a report and wanted to gather some material. Yu Lu lowered her head embarrassedly and said, "I accidentally pulled off a cosplayer's skirt. It really was an accident. This time I want to find her, firstly because I think the proposal is good, and secondly to do something to make amends." Pin quickly asked, "Do you know where he lives?" She looked at Pin puzzledly. "I only know it's a guy. I recognize the voice. I don't know any other information. Even if I knew now, it wouldn't matter." After hearing this, Pin suddenly burst into laughter. "I didn't expect it to be like this." A colleague found Yu Lu and asked with concern, "Why have you been so listless these past few days?" Yu Lu replied sadly, "I don't know if I'm suitable for this job. I do love anime and comic exhibitions, but I don't have experience in planning. Relying on enthusiasm alone doesn't seem to be enough to create a good proposal." The colleague explained to him, "You probably don't know, but Director Jiang doesn't have a professional background in planning either. But Jiang's first project was a huge success. It's known in the industry as an unrepeatable miracle. Yulu said, "How can an ordinary person like me compare to a genius like Director Jiang?" Suddenly, she remembered something and thanked her colleague for carrying her down the mountain. But the colleague said it was Director Jiang who carried her down. She was even acting drunk on his back. Director Jiang didn't want more rumors spreading in the company, so he told me to say, "I helped you down." He really cares about his employees' reputation. Yulu looked at her colleague in confusion, her thoughts racing, not knowing how to respond. But Director Jiang seems to have something going on. He's taken leave and hasn't been here for 2 days. I wonder what he's busy with. Yulu pondered anxiously. Jiang is so petty. Even if I actively try to contact him, he won't respond to me. So she messaged Hipin, "I heard Director Jiang took leave. Is he feeling unwell?" Hipin replied almost instantly. He went back home to rest. Hipin explained, "Jiang can be sharp-tongued, but he's very fragile inside, like a paper person. When he's misunderstood, he hides away to heal." Hipin also told her, "Jiang is definitely fine. He won't die." Yulu worried and pondered. Misunderstood? Jiang was misunderstood? Could it be because of me? Did I really promise him something that day, but don't remember? Yulu started imagining Jiang breaking down and drinking at home after being misunderstood by her, almost not wanting to live in this world anymore. That would be a terrible sin. Yulu knelt on the ground, imagining in distress. So she hurriedly got up, picked up her phone to call Jiang, but the phone was turned off. Meanwhile, Jiang had just taken out his phone and pressed it, realizing it was turned off. He was at home at the time, and having nothing to do, he had planned to go back. His mother suddenly spoke, "Annie's son wants to introduce you to some girls. I've already arranged the time. Meet them before you leave." Hearing this, Jiang stood up angrily. "So, mother, you said your heart was unwell and tricked me back these few days just to set me up with girlfriends?" He looked at his mother sitting opposite and accused loudly, "Do you know how many things are waiting for me to handle at the company?" His mother also yelled back unhappily, "You call that a career? Who in their right mind would work in that industry?" Jiang stood up dissatisfied and walked towards the door. His mother called for him to come back, but he pretended not to hear, his face gloomy, until the door slammed shut with a loud bang. After leaving, Jiang complained in a bad mood, "Always calling me back home like this." He picked up his phone. It was actually a call from Yulu. After thinking for a moment, he chose to answer. The voice on the other end came urgently. "Director Jiang, are you okay? I heard you're not in a good mood." Jiang put the phone to his ear and said impatiently, "I'm fine and happy. No need for you to worry." But Yulu doubted and asked, "But Director Jiang, your expression doesn't seem to match what you're saying." Jiang's hand holding the phone paused slightly. His tone softened a bit as he asked, "Who said that?" But Yulu told him to turn around. When he looked back, he saw fireworks blooming in the sky. At this time, residents in the community curiously looked at the sky. Who dares to set off fireworks in the community when it's prohibited? Jiang's mother was also sitting on the sofa, trying to calm herself down. She glanced over with the corner of her eye. At this moment, Jiang looked at the fireworks in the sky, his eyes filled with uncontrollable shock. Behind him, Yulu's voice suddenly came. He was holding a light sign, waving it left and right, calling out in a soothing tone, "Director Jiang, at least don't be angry with me. This working-class person still wants to work properly." Jiang walked up to him and asked in a puzzled tone, "How did you find this place?" Yulu answered honestly, "Director, he gave me the address." After Jiang had been pacified, he replied awkwardly, "I know I was wrong. There's still hope for redemption." Yulu complained, "Actually, I'm not very sure exactly what I did wrong." Jiang looked at him speechlessly. "Then did you come all this way just to annoy me?" Yulu said honestly, "If an apology can make everything better, I think it's worth coming." Jiang found his words so reasonable that he couldn't refute. So they sat down on a nearby bench. Yulu was carefully searching for something in his bag. It turned out he was looking for his diary. He felt that some thoughts he didn't want to tell others could actually be written in the diary. Just like himself, he was still persisting in writing now. Jiang looked at him and said disapprovingly, "Only elementary school students write diaries." Yulu retorted, not to be outdone, "Writing diaries isn't a patent applied for by elementary school students." His diary was seen to be full of entries about Jiang Yi. "Jiang scolded me today. Jiang scolded me again today." Jiang looked at him unhappily. "When did I ever scold you?" Yulu had to explain, "Not scolding, just instructing." He reached out to take the diary. "Let me see what else you've complained about me." Yulu held on tightly, not letting go. As they fought over the diary, Their hands accidentally touched. Yu Lu hugged the diary, his face bright red. Zhang Yi, on the other hand, watched him indifferently. Zhang Yi asked softly, "Are you feeling better now?" Yu Lu lowered his eyes, like an injured rabbit, and obediently answered, "Much better." Zhang Yi thought to himself. His recent diary entries have all been about the Rich Jiang exhibition. He really values this planning project. As he pondered, he took out a ticket for the anime convention and handed it to Yu Lu. Yu Lu looked at him in surprise and asked very puzzledly, "What's this for?" Zhang Yi had to explain, "Don't overthink it. It's for work. Saturday at 10 a.m. You must be there." Time flew by, and Saturday, the day of the anime convention, arrived. Yu Lu stood at the entrance of the convention, constantly looking around. It was already 10 o'clock. Could Zhang Yi still be in bed? Suddenly, he heard voices behind him. They exclaimed in surprise, "Look, that Rich Jiang cosplayer has arrived. She's incredibly beautiful." Yu Lu turned to look and was shocked, his eyes widening. It was her. It was the cosplayer he had accidentally bumped into at the previous convention. He unconsciously walked towards her. Yu Lu looked up at her and asked happily, "Do you remember me? From the last convention. I accidentally bumped into you." He sincerely said to her, "What I did that time was very wrong. I didn't get a chance to formally apologize to you. I'm really sorry. I've been looking for you recently. Also wanted to formally apologize to you." Before Yu Lu could finish speaking, he was interrupted by the person in front of him. They said in a harsh tone, "Stop acting. That's enough." He looked at them in surprise. This voice sounded so familiar, as if he had heard it somewhere before. Yu Lu suddenly thought of something and asked in shock, "It can't really be you, can it?" He took out his phone in disbelief and dialed that person's number. Until the phone ringtone came from him, Yu Lu finally looked at him in complete belief. It really was Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi, seeing his actions, turned to leave in displeasure. "Since you want to keep acting, I'll take my leave." Yu Lu hurriedly stopped him. Yu Lu explained, "I confirmed it now. You really are that cosplayer." Zhang Yi suddenly shouted angrily, "What are you trying to do?" Yu Lu expressed understanding. After all, not everyone would have this kind of psychological shadow. Zhang Yi looked at him with sudden realization. "So you didn't know it was me before?" Yu Lu hurriedly explained, "Your makeup is absolutely perfect. I couldn't tell at all, even if you killed me." After understanding clearly, Zhang Yi thought in a daze. "I originally wanted to use this unmasking ceremony to resolve our grudges, but he actually knew nothing. He couldn't imagine that before this. He had been brainstorming every day, thinking Yu Lu was trying to manipulate him, feeling that he was repeatedly testing and trying to control him. In reality, Yu Lu truly knew nothing. He had never tried to manipulate him. It was all Zhang Yi's own one-man show. Only now did Zhang Yi understand. Previously, he had tossed and turned over having his skirt pulled down. Then he misunderstood his subordinate and couldn't sleep all night. In short, he was just embarrassed to death. Just as they were about to speak, people came over. They approached Yu Lu and looked at Zhang Yi in confusion. "This person is so beautiful. Who is he?" Yu Lu hurriedly tilted his head to block their view, explaining awkwardly, "This is my cousin's sister." He said he had something to deal with, then quickly pulled Zhang Yi away, running forward rapidly. Yu Lu stood at the entrance, panting. This place had few people. They wouldn't be seen here. The two stiffly scrutinized Yu Lu, their minds pondering something unknown. They only heard Yu Lu speaking to him. "Actually, this isn't something to be ashamed of. As long as it's not illegal, everyone's hobbies deserve respect." Yu Lu secretly leaned closer to her, his sweet voice sounding, "So, Director Zhang, you specially wore this outfit today and arranged to meet me here. Does this mean you agree with my proposal?" Zhang Yi replied helplessly, "I've always disagreed because while having new ideas is good, using this image as a gimmick can only attract people temporarily. It can't be sustained for long. It's not because I misunderstood you. We need to consider how to implement it, how to use content to retain people. This is more important." Yu Lu looked at him with admiration, nodding very seriously, indicating that he understood and would definitely make improvements. Zhang Yi lowered his head and said softly, "I'll work with you to complete this case. Don't overthink it. I just don't want you to cause any more trouble." At this moment, Yu Lu had already been attracted to something else, so he didn't hear. Zhang Yi looked at him angrily, but to no avail. Zhang Yi thought speechlessly, "So, he doesn't have any smugness about catching my weakness at all. The fool turns out to be myself." He suddenly noticed the man behind Yu Lu. This person looked familiar. Wasn't this the stalker who cursed at the last convention? At this moment, he couldn't care about much else and could only shout, "Yulu! Quick, turn around!" After Yulu turned around, he found it was that stalker again. He shrank back. Suddenly, he noticed that the man was holding a camera and was continuously taking secret photos. Jiang Yi suddenly rushed forward, shouting loudly, "Last time I was in a hurry and let you off. I didn't expect you to never learn. This time we have time. Let's have the police uncles come and educate you properly." The stalker hurriedly dodged and grabbed Yulu, hiding behind him while looking at Jiang Yi in terror. He suddenly threw Yulu away, causing Yulu to fall forward uncontrollably. Jiang Yi quickly embraced him, saying caringly, "Be careful." The stalker didn't care about any of that. He raised his fist and shouted loudly at Jiang Yi, "The one who should be careful is you." He punched Jiang Yi in the face. Yulu shouted in fear, "Jiang Yi." Jiang Yi touched his injured corner of the mouth, his face as dark as if a storm was about to break. He pondered how to take down the stalker. Yulu looked at Jiang Yi with concern, asking urgently, "Are you okay? Is the wound serious?" Meanwhile, their colleagues also rushed over. They asked Yulu in confusion, "Did you just call out Jiang Yi? Is Director Jiang here?" Jiang Yi stood aside at this moment, silently watching them, afraid to make a sound lest they discover him. Yulu stepped forward to cover, saying, "Jiang Yi asked me to take good care of her. She absolutely can't be harmed." Jiang Yi held her hand and said to her, "Don't." Yulu didn't care about these things. She rolled up her sleeves, angrily shouting, "It would be strange not to take action. Otherwise, wouldn't all my martial arts skills be wasted?" Yulu suddenly pulled out her phone and fiercely dialed the emergency number. The stalker looked at him in confusion, not expecting him to call the police. What should he do now? Before he could react, the police had quickly arrived at the scene and swiftly apprehended him. Yulu angrily looked at the man being taken away. This kind of person was finally detained. He probably wouldn't dare to do such things again. But Jiang Yi felt that while the country may change, one's nature is hard to alter. Nothing is certain. However, Jiang Yi looked at Yulu with approval. "You actually didn't rush over to take action yourself. You've changed quite a bit." Yulu innocently said, "You're being a bit hypocritical. You don't let me rush in, but you rushed in yourself." Jiang Yi looked straight at him. Who did he do this for? Such an ungrateful person. He had just charged into the breach for him. They suddenly made eye contact, both blushing slightly and pursing their lips, neither speaking. At this moment, Jiang Yi broke the silence. He asked with concern, "Do you need to go to the hospital for your face?" Before he could finish, his mother called him. After thinking for a moment, he raised his hand to answer the call. His mother asked where he was. She had come out on business and saw his car. Hearing this, Jiang Yi suddenly became very nervous. Yulu looked at him in confusion, wondering why he suddenly became so nervous. What had happened? Jiang Yi immediately composed his nervous body, pretending to reply calmly, "I still have things to do. I'll hang up first." After hanging up, coincidentally, there was a bus opposite them, so he made a bold decision. He was seen taking big strides towards the bus. Yulu asked him from behind, but he seemed not to hear, so he had to chase after him. Unexpectedly, Director Jiang got on the bus without paying. Luckily, Yulu caught up and explained they were together, swiping his bus card for him. Jiang Yi sat next to him, quietly reminding Yulu, "Help me block for a bit." Yulu curiously asked, "What's wrong with you? What happened?" So he unconsciously looked outside. What exactly did he need help blocking? He discovered a fierce-looking Annie was on the phone. Obviously, Jiang Yi was hiding from this Annie who was his mother. At this moment, Jiang Yi didn't even dare to breathe loudly, afraid of being discovered. After understanding, Yulu turned back to comfort Jiang Yi. "He can't see you anymore. It's okay. Don't be nervous." After Jiang Yi sighed in relief, he explained, "That was my mother just now. If she sees me like this, she might go crazy." Yulu asked in confusion, "Do you really like yourself when you're cosplaying as Fu Jiang, right? Although I don't know about your family situation, I can feel that when you cosplay as Fu Jiang, you are happy." Yulu then told him that everyone has multiple facets. The most important thing is that you like yourself. You said your aunt would go crazy seeing you like this. Actually, I would go crazy seeing you too, but in a happy way. You're truly the most perfect cosplayer I've ever seen. Jiang Yi confidently stated beside him that with his good foundation and makeup skills, he was naturally unbeatable. He asked curiously, "When you have something weighing on your mind and can't breathe, what do you do to relieve it?" Yulu said loudly, Of course, going out to play would relax my mind. Whenever there's something I can't figure out, I go ride a roller coaster. As they spoke, they had already arrived in front of the roller coaster. Yulu reminded him, close your eyes and recite the things troubling you. When the roller coaster reaches the highest point and rushes down, shout it out loud. Zhang Yi followed the instructions and began to think. Why do they want to control every step of my life? Why can't I make my own choices? Why don't they like me? As the roller coaster moved rapidly, it took away all their troubles. Forget all the unhappiness. Life is short. Do what you like to do. After one round, Yulu asked Zhang Yi with concern, how are you? Did it have any effect? At this moment, Yulu's hair was in a messy tangle, but he hadn't noticed it himself. Looking at Zhang Yi laughing out loud, Yulu sincerely remarked, this seems to be the first time I've seen Zhang Yi laugh without caring about his image, like a child. So he said softly, let's give up on the Zhang exhibition proposal. Hearing this, Zhang Yi looked at Yulu in surprise. This was a plan he valued greatly. Why give it up? Zhang Yi looked at him in confusion. Why give up on the exhibition? Isn't this something you've always dreamed of? Yulu explained, I understand you now. Why you repeatedly rejected this proposal before. I shouldn't have forced you. I'll go back and think of another plan. Zhang Yi looked at him in surprise. You still want to think of other plans? Now it's just asking me to cosplay as Fu Jiang to attend the event. If you keep thinking further, I'm afraid I won't be able to satisfy you. If I didn't want to go at all, I wouldn't have come to see you today. This is my own choice. Yulu stared at him with his innocent big eyes, looking at him with emotion. Zhang Yi, being stared at continuously, awkwardly said to him, if you keep looking, I'll have to charge you. Fortunately, there was a mall nearby where he could change back into men's clothes. Yulu suddenly saw something. He immediately lowered his head, covered his mouth, and coughed lightly to remind him. His eyes suddenly became evasive. Zhang Yi, seeing these puzzling actions, raised his head in confusion to look to the side. It was his mother, standing fiercely on the opposite side. She was looking at him with a furrowed brow. After Yulu saw that he had discovered her, he shouted loudly in his heart, Annie, how did you find this place? Zhang Yi hurriedly walked forward and accused loudly. Last time I went home, you took my phone. Did you install a tracking app? His mother looked at him with her arms crossed. What kind of attitude is this? Zhang Yi's mother retorted, I'm your mother. What's wrong with me caring about you? You hung up the phone without explaining clearly. I had to know what you came here to do. Yulu stood behind, pondering. No wonder Zhang Yi wanted to hide from his mother. This kind of controlling behavior is unbearable for anyone. He was still thinking fearfully when he realized Zhang Yi's mother had turned to look at him. After discovering him, Zhang Yi's mother stared at Yulu with a fierce yet scrutinizing gaze. Yulu, being stared at, hurriedly greeted her, Auntie. Hello. After seeing his mother's gaze, Zhang Yi tilted his head and urged Yulu to go home quickly. Let him know when you get home. So Yulu walked forward and took the cosplay outfit from Zhang Yi's hand. He gratefully said, Thank you, Mr. Jiang, for carrying this for me all the way. Well, Mr. Jiang, I'll be going now. Zhang Yi secretly sighed in relief. It's good that he took it away. Otherwise, if asked about it later, I wouldn't know how to explain. His mother asked disapprovingly, Is this girl your colleague? Where is she from? Zhang Yi said indifferently, We're just ordinary colleagues. We came here for some work to handle. As his mother rode in the car with him back home, she kept nagging. When have you ever carried things for an ordinary colleague? When have you ever cared about an ordinary colleague's safety on the road? Just from her dress and appearance, you can see she lacks class and background. Probably not from a good family. Zhang Yi retorted to his mother, making such harsh judgments about others. Do you think you have class and background? When his mother was questioned, she became immediately angry and embarrassed, as if about to explode. Zhang Yi didn't care what she was about to say. He directly shouted for the driver to stop and quickly got out of the car. He coldly looked back at his mother and said in a harsh tone, Stop following me. Zhang Yi walked alone to the overpass. He called Yipin and asked, Is your house in the north of the city rented out? If not, can I borrow it to stay for a while? Yipin asked helplessly, Did you have another fight with your mother? Zhang Yi angrily stated that he didn't want to talk now and would discuss it when they meet. Meanwhile, Yulu also slowly walked to the entrance of the residential area. After pondering for a moment, he decided to go home. Just as he reached his doorstep, he surprisingly saw police. He looked inside in shock, so he walked forward and asked, "Has something happened?" A nearby police officer warned them to move out as soon as possible. His friend explained regretfully, "This morning, someone ordered takeout. The delivery person came in with the police." Yulu asked in confusion, "Isn't takeout usually left downstairs?" The two of them sighed heavily. There's no point in blaming anyone now. It was bound to happen sooner or later. We just didn't expect it to be this fast. His friend reminded him, 3 days' time. The landlord needs to demolish all the illegally built partitions. I've contacted my aunt, planning to stay at her place temporarily. He looked at Yulu. "Why don't you come stay with me too?" "How does that sound?" Yulu forced a smile. "It's not convenient for you either. I'll find a place myself. Maybe I can find one quickly." After saying this, he walked towards his room and gently closed the door. Yulu frustratedly rubbed his hair, finding a suitable house and moving in within 3 days. This seemed like a dream, so he opened his phone and posted a message looking for a house. He couldn't hold on much longer. After Yulu finished packing, he lay on the bed, anxiously searching for a house. Suddenly his phone dinged. His page was still on house hunting when a message popped up. It was Pin asking if he was looking for a house. His attention was immediately drawn. He reached out to open it and seriously replied, "Yes. The landlord asked me to move out in 3 days. I can't afford to rent alone, so I'm looking for someone to share with." So Pin told him that he had an empty house in the north of the city. He just rented it to someone, but hadn't discussed whether it would be shared or single occupancy. "I think if you share the rent with that person, they wouldn't mind," Yulu said embarrassedly. "Mr. E's house rent must not be cheap, right?" Pin replied authoritatively, "I don't rely on rent for a living. I'm not comfortable renting to strangers either." Yulu was stunned by his domineering tone. Pin then told him that on Monday at work, he would give him the keys and contract. Yulu was extremely happy at this moment. He kept exclaiming, "My lifelong good deeds are finally paying off." Meanwhile, Pin, holding the keys, sighed, "Jiang-yi, you're so lucky to have me." Early the next morning, Yulu handed the project proposal to Mr. Jiang for review. After Jiang-yi finished reading, he said some parts still need to be revised, but overall, it's a well-formed proposal. "After you make the changes, I'll submit it to Mr. Yu." He thought to himself, if this proposal is approved, I should be able to stay at Shinmon. If not, I'll have to leave when the probation period ends. He looked at him puzzled, surprised that Jiang-yi would actually comfort someone. Jiang-yi spoke again. "Anyway, this is already your best effort. Just do your best." Sure enough, Yulu thought angrily. He wasn't being that kind after all. He stood up and said, "If there's nothing else, I'll go out to revise the proposal." Jiang-yi stopped him. "I saw you're looking for a roommate. I have a friend who's also looking for a roommate. The house isn't far from the company. If you take the second bedroom, the rent won't be much more than what you're paying now." After saying this, he picked up his phone, intending to send Yulu the contact information. Yulu secretly complained, "This friend you're talking about wouldn't happen to be yourself, would it?" Jiang-yi wouldn't admit it. He awkwardly explained, "I'm just returning a favor since you've helped me before." Yulu happily told him, "Anyway, thank you for your kindness, Mr. Jiang, but I've already found a place. I'm moving in after work today." After saying this, he quickly turned and ran out to work. Jiang-yi worriedly thought, the place he found this time wouldn't be another shared apartment, would it? The more he thought about it, the more annoyed he became. So he decided not to think about it. After all, it wasn't his concern. While they were working, Jiang-yi kept intentionally or unintentionally passing by Yulu's location. Even his colleagues were confused. "Mr. Jiang seems to like passing by here a lot today." Yulu was clearly distracted. He still had to move, so he planned to leave early. His colleague asked, "Do you need any help?" Yulu happily replied that he didn't, as he had already found someone. So he hurriedly went down the stairs and out of the office building. Just then, someone on a motorcycle was waiting for him. He quickly rushed over. At this moment, Jiang-yi, standing on the balcony, saw this scene and seemed to be pondering something. He recalled Yulu saying that he had already found a place and was moving in after work today. Jiang-yi's thoughts were in a whirl. Was Yulu in a relationship? Jiang-yi worked overtime until very late, then drove with Pin to see the house. Pin hadn't finished speaking when he suddenly seemed to discover something. So he bent down to pick it up, saying teasingly, "A girl sat in your passenger seat before, didn't she? Was it Yulu?" Jiang-yi stopped looking at him and said coldly, "Keep talking and I'll throw you out." Pin wasn't afraid at all. "Your mom, my aunt, has been hanging around your house these past 2 days. You should stay at my place for a while longer. You've been torturing yourself for so many years. Sometimes you don't need to overthink things. Just follow your heart. In 100 years, we'll all be buried the same way. Jiang Yi coldly reminded him. You said several sentences too many. So Jiang Yi actually threw him out. He chased after him desperately. Jiang Yi thought to himself, follow your heart, easier said than done. How many people can truly do that? He arrived at Pin's door, feeling quite satisfied. The location was good too. He opened the door and went in, looking around. Jiang Yi decided to change his clothes first. Meanwhile, Yulu had just opened the door and walked out with some things. He was happily thinking, such a nice house, and he rented it to me so cheaply. Mr. He is really a good person. I'll treat him to dinner tomorrow. Suddenly, he heard a bang. What's that sound? Mr. He said he lived in the master bedroom before. Did he forget to close the window last time, and the wind knocked something over? So he hurriedly walked forward and reached out to open the door. He happened to see Jiang Yi, who was taking off his clothes. Jiang Yi looked at Yulu in shock as he opened the door. Yulu also realized the situation, his cheeks instantly turning red. They called Pin over. Pin had to explain, I originally thought you were just staying here for 2 or 3 days, so when I saw Yulu in need, I wanted to help. What I didn't expect was that you're also staying long-term. Pin thought for a moment, then happily said, since it's such a coincidence, why don't you two just live together? They looked at each other, both with disdain in their eyes. Jiang Yi is clean and has a healthy lifestyle. You know each other well. Isn't this safer than living with strangers? Or do you find it unbearable to live under the same roof as Jiang Yi? Yulu hurriedly explained, it's not like that. I just feel like I might be bothering Mr. Jiang too much. Pin asked Jiang, do you have the heart to see this young lady sleep on the street? When asked, Jiang Yi didn't know how to answer for a moment. He could only silently look at them. Pin asked again, do you have the heart to let her go through the trouble of moving again? Jiang Yi was left speechless. Pin asked a third time, I heard from Lin Yin yesterday that someone asked him to post 8,000 rental listings. Jiang Yi directly stated that he didn't feel bothered. He asked Yulu, do you have any objections? Yulu looked at him innocently. I've already signed a contract with Mr. He. Hearing this, Jiang Yi secretly sighed in relief. Then it's settled. We'll be roommates. Seeing that they had resolved the issue, Pin said he was leaving. You two get some rest. After he left, the two of them were left staring at each other. Yulu thought helplessly. Mr. He's words sounded a bit strange. Jiang Yi stood up at this point. Since we're going to be roommates, it's better to say some things up front. I don't like strangers in the house, so don't bring random people back. Yulu asked, confused. What do you mean by random people? Jiang Yi awkwardly reminded him, like the person on the motorcycle who picked you up after work today. Yulu realized, oh, he's from the moving company. The roads were too congested after work, so to move quickly, he came to pick me up on a motorcycle. Is Jiang Yi implying something to me? If I'm not a roommate that meets his expectations, can he make me move out at any time? That won't do. While eating breakfast, Yulu kept thinking, I used to sleep so soundly in that messy shared apartment, but now I'm having insomnia in this nice place. I guess this is what they call a mountain pig can't eat fine cuisine. He secretly vowed, to avoid being kicked out, I'd better make a good impression. He actually made a heartfelt breakfast for Jiang Yi, leaving a note saying, remember to heat up the sandwich when you wake up. From your new roommate. Not poisoned. Eat with peace of mind. Jiang Yi later got up groggily, sleepily, opening the door. When he walked to the dining area, he indeed found the breakfast and note. But Jiang Yi thought to himself, too bad, I never eat breakfast. After Yulu went to work, he was so tired that he fell asleep at his desk. Even his colleague was sleeping. Suddenly, his desk was gently tapped. It was Jiang Yi, reminding him to attend a meeting with Mr. Yu at 2 p.m. Yulu instantly woke up, excitedly shouting, has the proposal been approved? Jiang Yi glanced at him coldly, replying, you'll find out when you get there. At this moment, his colleague leaned in and said teasingly, did you have breakfast with Mr. Zhang this morning? You both smell of the same blueberry jam. My sense of smell is very keen. I noticed it right away. Yulu nervously explained, we didn't eat together. Besides, we didn't even come in together. Suddenly, documents were slammed down in front of them. Not working during office hours, always chatting and gossiping. Do you think this is your local market? For next month's comic convention, a guest has suddenly canceled. I've already confirmed a new choice, an artist called Ghost Hand Feast. Yulu, you're responsible for contacting them. Get this settled within a week. Yulu curiously pointed at himself. But inviting guests, isn't that not our department's job? The manager started criticizing him. Just do what you're told. You're not even a permanent employee yet, and you're already so problematic. If you can't do it, just quit. Yulu held back and said, then please, Manager Zhou, give me the guest's information and contact details. But Manager Zhou replied, should I just contact them directly and hand them over to you? Figure it out yourself. The colleague explained to Yulu, Ghost Hand Feast is a very popular artist, but very mysterious. Apart from their online works, they haven't revealed any information or left any contact details on public platforms. No information, no contact details. How am I supposed to find them? But he's just a manager. We don't even cross paths. Why is he doing this to me? In the company's office area, sunlight streamed in through the window, illuminating the entire room. Suddenly, an employee from the planning department, carrying his belongings, shouted gloomily in the office area. A newbie who knows nothing comes to the planning department and immediately gets such an important project. Who would believe there's no backing? As he passed by the manager's desk, he walked away without looking back, but not without leaving a parting shot. Be careful, Manager Zhou. You never know. One day your position might be taken by someone else. After hearing his words, Manager Zhou slowly raised his eyes, his expression not as pleasant as one might expect. He kept pondering the words of the dismissed employee. He stood up and went to the office area. Seeing Yulu walk past, Manager Zhou stood behind him, overhearing that he had come up with a great idea. He was somewhat shocked. Yulu thought his idea was perfect, but the person behind him didn't think so. If this Fujian project unexpectedly blows up, wouldn't he be stepping on my head then? Manager Zhou looked at the content on the paper with a gloomy face. The company is particularly focused on this comic convention. Are there any guests who have never participated in events before, but are well known in the circle that we could invite? The secretary behind him replied helplessly, that would probably only be Ghost Hand Feast. Unfortunately, they don't have any public contact information. It's impossible to find them. After hearing this, Zhou Hao maliciously planned to set up Yulu. Can't find them? That's perfect. Yulu sat at the computer, extremely frustrated. His mind was blank. It's been 2 days. I've searched all the platforms I could find and asked in various comic convention groups. No one knows Ghost Hand Feast's contact information. Yulu sighed. Their Weibo is just for show. They never go online. Chunjie turned to look at Yulu, who was feeling dejected. She teased, why did you buy so many pens? Are you planning to swallow them and end it all? She then advised, it's just work. No need to be so desperate. Suddenly, Yulu's eyes lit up. A brilliant idea came to mind. Yulu looked at the signature on the computer screen. This signature is pinned on Ghost Hand Feast Weibo. I plan to practice writing it until I can replicate it perfectly. Then they might come out to expose the fake. As he was explaining his clever plan, Zhou Hao approached with a gloomy face. It's been 2 days. Haven't you contacted Ghost Hand Feast yet? Yulu hurriedly sat up, looking worried. I can't find any contact information for Ghost Hand Feast. There's really no way to reach them. Manager Zhou stared at him intently. He maliciously mocked Yulu. People with limited abilities, no matter how much backing they have, are still hopeless cases. Yulu became agitated at this. He couldn't tolerate Manager Zhou anymore. As the saying goes, when you can't bear it anymore, there's no need to endure further. Suddenly, Yulu slammed the table and questioned him. Manager Zhou, if you think I'm incapable, why don't you do it yourself? Manager Zhou, with your superior abilities, I'm sure you can contact them in no time. At this point, Zhou's face fell. What kind of attitude is this? You're an intern who can't even do the routine work assigned to you. And now you want to push it on to others? Did I hire you to be treated like royalty? Quickly hand over your work and reflect on your actions. Yulu felt that this wasn't so simple. No wonder Thawao suddenly targeted me. It turns out he wants to take over the Fujian project for himself. By now, many onlookers were watching their argument. This project was specifically assigned to me by Mr. Yu. If Manager Zhou wants me to hand it over, then you should go talk to Mr. Yu. Yulu left Zhou Hao speechless. Suddenly, a voice came from the office. The girl quickly turned her head to look. Seeing this, the onlookers quietly slipped away. Zhang Yi walked towards Yulu, expressionless, completely ignoring Zhou Hao beside him. He spoke slowly, come with me to Mr. Yu's office for a meeting. Yulu left his workstation, looking up at Mr. Jiang with emotion. Behind him, Zhou Hao's face was very unpleasant, but he didn't dare say a word in front of Jiang Yi. At this moment, the elevator they were riding had reached the 13th floor. In the elevator, Jiang Yi's eyes revealed a cold intent. Zhou Hao indeed has some tricks up his sleeve. Yulu turned to look at him, feeling confused. Is he helping me? Suddenly, Yulu's face darkened. The atmosphere became eerie. You men are truly ruthless. Jiang Yi didn't expect the girl beside him to say this. After hearing these words, Jiang Yi didn't get angry. He just sighed. Normally, interns indeed shouldn't be in charge of main planning projects. It should be the team leader's responsibility. Although Zhou Hao seems to be making a fuss, he sees on the point that you couldn't complete the work he assigned. If this goes to Mr. Yu, he'll definitely follow company regulations. Yulu received a hint from Mr. Jiang and came up with another idea. Ghost Hand Feast and Suzuki were high school classmates. Suzuki should be able to find him. Suddenly, Jiang Yi took out a piece of paper and handed it to Yulu. When you talk to Mr. Yu about the project plan later, casually mention this. Yulu took the note, looking confused as she asked Jiang Yi, "Are you here to help me?" She looked at the contents of the note and felt favorably towards him. Remembering previous events, you didn't let me be the main planner because you were worried Zhou Hao would target me because of it. After they exited the elevator, Jiang Yi turned back, staring at her with a gloomy face. Don't flatter yourself. I just don't like Zhou Hao, that's all. Jiang Yi continued walking. Besides, Mr. Yu values this project highly. Changing people midway is too risky. Seeing this, Yulu hurriedly thanked him. In the evening, it started raining heavily outside. Yulu was still working overtime. She stretched and said, "Thank goodness, I finally found Ghost Hand Feast's phone number. Time to go home." She walked out of the company building and took out her umbrella. Yulu didn't expect that as soon as she opened the umbrella, a gust of wind came and broke it. Yulu looked at the umbrella in her hand. She felt helpless and angry, feeling that the whole day had been terrible. She wondered if today was her unlucky day. Suddenly, a black car stopped by the roadside. The man in the car slowly lowered the window and told the girl on the roadside to get in. Yulu was very confused. How is she here? She still got into the car voluntarily. Jiang Yi answered, "I was having dinner nearby and was about to go home when I saw you standing here looking at the sky." At this moment, Jiang Yi looked affectionately at the girl in the passenger seat. "It's raining heavily today. The road ahead is terribly congested. If we drive back, we might not get home until midnight." Yulu smiled and suggested, "Since we don't live far, let's just walk back. It'll only take about 10 minutes. Jiang Yi's eyes hadn't left Yulu since she got in the car. He nodded slightly, agreeing to her suggestion. The car was very quiet at this time. Neither of them spoke again after that. The rain outside was getting heavier. They had now returned home. The house was brightly lit. Yulu was leisurely cooking in the kitchen. Suddenly, she seemed to remember something and raised her hand to touch her burning cheeks. Yulu thought about running in the rain with Jiang Yi. Jiang Yi had taken off his coat and held it over their heads. He was very gentlemanly, shielding her from the rain. While she was lost in thought, Jiang Yi was already standing behind her. Seeing Yulu's expression, he asked worriedly, "Do you have a fever?" Yulu turned back in surprise and saw him. Jiang Yi stepped forward and touched her forehead. "Your temperature seems normal. Why is your face so red?" He then took the towel from his neck and wiped the water droplets on her face. He asked somewhat jokingly, but out of concern, "You don't have any internal injuries, do you?" Hearing this, Yulu suddenly felt uncomfortable. She was surprised by Jiang Yi's concern, and her face turned even redder than before. At this moment, Jiang Yi was about to reach out and touch her again. Yulu quickly slapped his hand away and said angrily, "You're the one with internal injuries. It's just hot from cooking." He looked at Yulu cooking seriously, his eyes full of love. He didn't mind at all and felt very happy inside. Yulu stood in the kitchen, looking at this house. She thought of the place where she used to live, that so-called home. It seemed like it had never made her feel at ease for a single day. She held the spatula in her hand and turned back to continue cooking. Now, in this house that didn't belong to her, she felt inexplicably at ease. Suddenly, Jiang Yi's phone received a message. The content was that Aunt Wang had introduced a girl to him. She had a good job and family background and wanted to arrange a meeting on Saturday. At this moment, Yulu brought the dish to Jiang Yi. Seeing his expressionless face, she said, "Don't worry, I didn't poison it. Don't look at me like I'm some villain trying to harm you." Jiang Yi looked at the girl in front of him and smiled. Now his eyes were completely occupied by Yulu, having already forgotten about that message. Looking at the table full of appetizing dishes, she said, "Consider this meal as my thanks." "Thank you, Mr. Jiang, for helping me contact Ghost Hand Feast and for shielding me from the rain." He sat at the table, looking at Yu Lu with boredom. "By shielding you from the rain, I have a 50% chance of catching a cold. If I get sick, then the work in the planning department will be delayed. The planning department is the heart of Xingmon. If it stops, the whole Xingmon will stop too." Yu Lu sat across from him, listening to his excuses. For a moment, she didn't know how to respond to his unreasonable questions. Yu Lu was quite speechless at the person in front of her. At this time, Jiang Yi rested his head on his hand and said with a smile, "This meal to thank me. Can't make up for Xingmon's huge loss." Yu Lu just sat there quietly looking at him, but then heard the man across say, "Let me accompany you to go bungee jumping. This Saturday, it's a date." Jiang Yi didn't even give her a chance to refuse. Looking at the smiling Jiang Yi in front of her, she felt very helpless. People who can become executives are really shameless. The next morning, Yu Lu got ready to go out. Ghost Hand Feast agreed to meet me. "I'm going out on a field trip." When she arrived at the ecological park with the prepared materials, looking at the person in front of her, she was very excited. Looking at it this way, he must have painted several of his paintings here. It's just that his painting style is so unique, I never associated it with the ecological park. At this time, Ghost Hand Feast was sitting there painting seriously, completely unaware of the person behind him. Yu Lu had to step forward and greet him. "Hello, are you Mr. Ghost Hand Feast? I'm Yu Lu from Shimon's planning department, who contacted you earlier." Seeing Ghost Hand Feast nod, she opened the materials she had prepared. "Then let me introduce the details of this comic exhibition to you, sir." When Yu Lu saw the contents of the materials clearly, she was confused and surprised. "This material isn't what I prepared. My materials have been switched." At this time, seeing her at a loss, Ghost Hand Feast's face darkened. He asked in a low voice, "Is there a problem?" Yu Lu looked a bit flustered. "Sir, it's like this. Our event had some last-minute changes. These materials haven't been updated in time. Let me just tell you directly." Ghost Hand Feast looked at her with a gloomy face. "No need to say anything yet. I want to hear why you sought me out first." She looked even more flustered. "I think your works have a very strong personal style. From the composition to the use of colors, it's all very impressive." Ghost Hand Feast's face darkened. He stated his purpose, very eye-catching. "It can make your comic exhibition very attractive." Yu Lu listened to these words. "So in the end, what you care about isn't my work at all, just my commercial value." She felt like she had been scolded. After Ghost Hand Feast left, she sat down, still holding the materials in the same posture. Now she felt quite frustrated. Suddenly she lowered her head, tears streaming down. She thought of the worst outcome in her heart. She had messed this up. She felt useless. At this time, a voice came from behind. "Is this all you've got? Crying just because someone scolded you?" Yu Lu raised her head in surprise, looking at the person walking towards her. Jiang Yi lowered his head, looking at Yu Lu affectionately, standing there quietly, listening to the girl's distress. Yu Lu looked very upset, disappointed in herself. "I finally got his contact information, finally managed to set up this meeting, and I've messed it up completely." After hearing this, he leaned down to comfort Yu Lu. "Who did you show these documents to before?" When Yu Lu opened the file and carefully looked through it again, she said, "I showed it to Brother Zhou. Ghost Hand Feast was the one he wanted to find, so he must have switched my materials." He sighed, wanting to take responsibility for this consequence. "Because he's the supervisor. Even if I find Zhou Hao, and he just says he took the wrong one, there's nothing I can do." Yu Lu spoke firmly at this point. "Now we only have one option, to invite Ghost Hand Feast to our place. That's the only way to shut her up." Her stomach was growling. Seeing this, Jiang Yi patted her shoulder. "How can you think of a solution on an empty stomach? Let's go. I'll treat you to a meal." Yu Lu nodded with a smile, looking at him shyly. Jiang Yi took Yu Lu to a restaurant. The table was full of wine bottles. Some were empty, some hadn't been opened yet. He looked at the girl in front of him helplessly, not knowing how to persuade her. He could only let her release her frustration. Yu Lu held a bottle of red wine in her hand, her face already flushed. "Why did you appear at the ecological park today? Were you worried I'd be tricked?" Jiang Yi looked at the drunk girl in front of him. His thoughts exposed, he angrily replied, "I was afraid you'd be too depressed and affect the company's feng shui." At this moment, Yu Lu stroked Jiang Yi's chin like petting a cat, teasing him. "Would it kill you to say something nice?" Jiang Yi was speechless at her gesture. They sat in the hall, and music started playing. The girl raised her head in surprise, slurring, "This is Debussy's Clair de Lune, isn't it?" Suddenly, Jiang Yi walked towards the piano. He sat down and started playing the music the girl mentioned. As the music started, Yulu turned her head towards him, surprised, and called out, "Senior!" Jiang, he didn't hear her voice, and continued playing the piano seriously. He was so immersed in the music that he couldn't notice the movement behind him. By now, Jiang Yi had finished playing Debussy's Clair de Lune. Just as he was about to stand up, he saw Yulu behind him. At this moment, Yulu was dizzy and approached him. Suddenly, she kissed Jiang Yi's cheek. Jiang Yi's eyes widened in shock, his heart racing. After Yulu kissed him and pulled away, Jiang Yi remained frozen in place. His heart was beating so fast it felt like it would jump out of his chest. Then, Yulu reached out and caressed Jiang Yi's cheek. Jiang Yi's face turned excessively red as he slowly asked, "Don't you have anything to say?" The girl ignored his question completely. She looked up at Jiang Yi lovingly, her eyes shining, and said gently, "You're so handsome." Then Yulu cupped Jiang Yi's face with both hands. Not getting the answer he wanted, Jiang Yi looked at her helplessly. "I already know that. Anything else?" Suddenly, Jiang Yi put his arm around Yulu's waist. "You just kissed me. Don't you want to say something? Am I that easy to take advantage of?" Yulu, drunk, waved her hand and smiled, saying, "Then why don't you kiss me back?" Jiang Yi never expected Yulu to say such a thing to him. He was at a loss for what to do and could only indulge her. Then he really wanted to kiss her. Yulu leaned down, slowly looking at the girl in front of him. They gazed at each other at close range. They were full of love, but neither had realized it yet. At this moment, Yulu, unable to support herself, collapsed onto the table. Only Jiang Yi was left standing there, the atmosphere becoming quite awkward. Jiang Yi looked at the sleeping girl in front of him with a gloomy face, feeling frustrated. He could only console himself. "I shouldn't argue with a drunk person." He walked over, picked up the sleeping Yulu, and gently nuzzled her hair, very affectionately. "Let's go home, little drunk cat." As Jiang Yi walked, he looked at Yulu in his arms. She looks so cute when she's asleep. The sun had come out, illuminating the entire villa. The air was very fresh now. Yulu was still sleeping in bed. There was a small kitten on top of her head, constantly pawing at her hair, trying to wake her up. Seeing that she still wasn't waking up, the kitten used its trump card. It lowered its head and gently licked Yulu's hair. She opened her eyes, somewhat confused. How did the cat get here? After tidying herself up, Yulu carried the kitten to the dining table. Seeing this, Jiang Yi teased her. "You're awake, huh? Drunkard." Jiang Yi fiddled with the food on his plate using a fork. Then he propped his head on his hand, gazing lovingly at Yulu in front of him. Yulu felt uncomfortable under his gaze and slowly lowered her head, her face reddening. She awkwardly asked, "I didn't do anything I shouldn't have last night, did I?" Jiang Yi replied, "No," considering Yulu's feelings and not wanting her to feel guilty about yesterday's events. Jiang Yi speared a piece of food with his fork and put it in his mouth. He kept the fork raised, looking at her while pondering something. Yulu sighed in relief, the tension in her mind relaxing. She exclaimed, "That's good then." She sat down and started eating breakfast with her fork. At this moment, Jiang Yi asked her, "Have you thought of a way to persuade Ghost Hand Feast?" Yulu immediately stopped her actions. Actually, more than the error in the materials, Ghost Hand Feast cares more about sincerity. He thinks we only care about his popularity. We don't really understand him. I want to try again today. "Mr. Jiang, I request to go out on a field assignment." Jiang Yi looked at her, resting his head on his hand. "All right, I'll take you." Meanwhile, Ghost Hand Feast was sitting alone in a church. Yulu had also found her way there, looking around and finally spotting him. She couldn't help but think he didn't finish his painting yesterday. He might come back today. Indeed, it was so, but she couldn't help feeling a bit nervous. Still, she mustered up her courage and approached him. Bowing politely, she greeted Ghost Hand Feast. She smiled and moved closer with her documents. "Good morning, Teacher Ghost Hand." Ghost Hand Feast's face was gloomy. He was very unhappy, not expecting to be followed even here. He felt his personal space had been invaded, so he unpleasantly packed up his things, preparing to leave. Yulu hurriedly waved her hands and apologized. "Teacher, please don't leave. I came specially today to apologize." But Ghost Hand Feast didn't even look up, telling her it wasn't necessary. Yulu continued to persuade. "I know that on the last day of every month you post a painting." Hearing this, Ghost Hand Feast suddenly stopped packing his sketchbook. He was somewhat surprised, not expecting this girl to know so much about him. He silently stared at Yulu, waiting to see what else she would say. Yulu earnestly explained to Teacher Ghost Hand, "This painting is of the same scene from the same angle. I only recently realized it's this place. Every month, every season, you're recording life in a special way. Although I don't understand painting, I can feel the power you convey in your work. All painters are lonely, with a rich inner world of small events. He hadn't expected Yulu to understand his paintings and even express her own insights. Yulu sincerely told him, "Many people think your painting style is dark and powerful, guessing you must be a male painter." Was silent for a moment. Finally, he spoke. "Before the ecological park was built here, this was a small alley. My grandmother and I lived here. I paint a picture every month and bring it to her. Grandmother always looked at me lovingly. I miss her very much. So at this time, every month, I come to this place to remember some moments from my childhood." After finishing, Ghost Hand looked puzzled. He raised his head and asked, Why haven't you mentioned cooperation today?" But Yulu's expression was very sincere. "I said it before. I came today to apologize. To apologize for my previous rashness and ignorance. This isn't about work." Then, Yulu politely bowed to him and said goodbye. "Well, Teacher Ghost Hand, I won't disturb you anymore. I'll be going now." Hearing these words, Ghost Hand Feast was a bit surprised and stunned. After Yulu finished speaking, she turned and walked away. Just as she got a short distance away, someone called out to her from behind. Yulu turned back, somewhat confused. To her surprise, it was Jiang Yi, so she asked with slight confusion, "Why are you here?" Jiang Yi quickly walked up to her, standing close and looking down at Yulu with a smile. It felt somewhat like a leader's inspection. In a businesslike tone, he said, "Let's see how your negotiation went." Hearing this, she looked a bit dejected, but Yulu had her own thoughts. She just said she didn't bring up the matter. The most important thing in dealing with him is sincerity. We need to find a way to move him first. We can talk about cooperation later. Jiang Yi raised his hand to stroke his chin, his face slightly pensive. He clicked his tongue softly, understanding. This is palace intrigue, huh? Seeing that he understood, Yulu grinned. At this moment, Jiang Yi was muttering something to himself. He stared at Yulu with deep eyes, his face thoughtful. To move someone, you must first conquer their heart. Yulu looked a bit confused. Jiang Yi suddenly spoke, his voice very low. She couldn't hear clearly what he said, so she asked puzzledly, "What are you saying?" Before Yulu could ask clearly, suddenly her phone rang, so she answered the call. Meanwhile, Jiang Yi was startled by his own words. "What was I just saying? I must be possessed." At this time, after listening to the other end of the phone, Yulu was absolutely shocked. "I can't believe he agreed." Ghost Hand agreed. "This is really good news." After hanging up, she couldn't help but raise both hands high, cheering towards Jiang Yi. "Ghost Hand Feast agreed to cooperate with us. This is so good." Jiang Yi was also a bit surprised, asking incredulously, "Is this true?" Yulu nodded happily. She kept her hands raised high, excitedly shouting, "Hooray! This is so great!" Jiang Yi extended both hands, looking at her speechlessly. He didn't expect her to be so excited. Thinking he wanted a hug, she reached out her hands. But unexpectedly, she misunderstood and instead grabbed his arms. Awkwardness surrounded the two of them. "Why does awkwardness always surround me?" Jiang Yi hurriedly withdrew his hands, unable to help but look away. The situation now was too awkward. Finally, Yulu broke the strange atmosphere. She also blushed awkwardly, but still reminded him, "Jiang Yi, your phone seems to be vibrating constantly." So Jiang Yi took out his phone from his pocket. Looking down, he saw messages from his mom. "Why aren't you replying to messages? Not answering calls either. We're meeting tomorrow. Reply when you see this." Seeing these messages, Jiang Yi was silent for a long time. His face darkened, and his mood clearly dropped. Yulu clearly noticed his mood change, so she caringly asked, "Are things a bit tense between you and your parents?" Jiang Yi didn't expect her to be so perceptive, but what he cared more about was why Yulu would ask this. So he also asked if she was concerned about him. Yulu didn't expect him to be so direct. A drop of cold sweat slid down her forehead. Her voice was a bit stuttering. "Yeah, it's concern between colleagues." But then, Jiang Yi said something completely unrelated. He looked at her seriously and said, "Let's go bungee jumping." Yulu asked with some surprise, "Right now?" Jiang Yi told her, "I helped you get Ghost Hand Feast contact information. You promised to go bungee jumping with me as thanks. Have you forgotten?" After saying this, as if it wasn't enough, he leaned down close to Yulu's ear and concluded with a slightly pressuring tone, "Now it's time for you to fulfill your promise." Soon, the two arrived at the amusement park. The crowd was bustling, and the Ferris wheel was especially packed with visitors. But Yulu's expression was now a bit unpleasant. She looked somewhat terrified, constantly staring ahead. Even a few drops of cold sweat slid down her forehead in fear. She couldn't help but look up at the high-jumping platform, feeling genuinely a bit scared inside. Jiang-yi kindly reminded her, "It's not too late to back out now. Do you really want to jump?" Hearing this, Yulu tightly closed her eyes, clenched her fists to encourage herself. "Since I promised to jump with you, I can't go back on my word. We people of the Jianghu, our word is our bond." The two quickly arrived at the platform. Yulu was so scared she didn't know where to put her hands. The staff helped them put on the equipment, reminding Yulu to hold on to him tightly. They instructed them on the safest posture. "Move your hand a bit further, and keep your legs together." Soon, the two were holding each other tightly. Yulu's thoughts wandered a bit. She felt like not long ago we were also this close. She seemed to remember. It was that time after she had drunk too much. Jiang-yi leaned down close to her, seeming to ask something softly. The memory was a bit blurry. Jiang-yi's face then seemed a bit different from now. His cheeks were slightly red. The two of them were also as close then as they are now. But before Yulu could recall clearly, the staff reminded them again. Ready to jump. Yulu immediately tensed up, feeling internally devastated. No way so soon. The two held each other tightly, descending rapidly, falling down. Yulu closed her eyes tightly in fear, burying her face in the man's chest. Jiang-yi also held her tightly, gently closing his eyes. With the rushing wind of the rapid descent and the surge of adrenaline, he couldn't help but fall into memories. He remembered his childhood. His mother was always a very domineering person. "I've signed you up for a painting class. It starts this Saturday. That person's son just won an award. You can't be worse than him in anything. No time? Just skate less. You'll have plenty of time then. Would mom harm you?" He curled up tightly in the dim room, his small self. And those ice skates, along with the cold memories, were permanently sealed in that room. But then suddenly a gentle female voice appeared, telling him that as long as it's not illegal or unethical, everyone's happiness deserves respect. Jiang-yi, life is short. Do what you like. It was Yulu who healed his childhood self, giving a warm embrace to that boy trapped in the dark room. He suddenly pulled himself out of the memory, opening his eyes wide without fully coming to. After coming to his senses, he noticed the girl in front of him was screaming in terror, looking very scared. Soon, the two came to a stop, hanging upside down in the air. Yulu's courage grew at this point. That was so scary, but so exhilarating. "I want to do it again." After leaving the bungee platform, Jiang-yi called his mother with a resolute attitude. "I'm an adult now. I have the right to freely manage my own time. I also have the right to refuse the blind dates you arrange. Please also tell the other party. Cancel Saturday's meeting, and don't arrange such things for me in the future." With that, he hung up the phone. Turning his head, he looked gently at Yulu. He seemed to have broken free from some constraint, as if his whole person was renewed. Then he walked up to Yulu and answered her previous words in a good mood. "Let's go. Let's do it again," he said very understandingly. A good boss should dedicate himself entirely to satisfying his employees. Yulu didn't expect him to still remember this, and even say it out loud. She pulled at the corner of her mouth somewhat speechlessly. That's really not necessary. The next day, the company started its regular meeting as usual. He made a decision for the employees below him. "This week, we will conduct the final evaluation for the probationary employees." He carefully explained the rules. The evaluation scoring criteria are as follows. Peer evaluation accounts for 20%, supervisor evaluation 20%, manager evaluation 60%. The position of planning department manager is currently vacant, so I will evaluate this part. Please, everyone, before the end of work today, send me the evaluation scores for the two interns, Yulu and Tung Yao, by email. Yulu looked worried and said to Tung Yao, beside her, "I feel like I should start writing my resume in advance." Tung Yao was a bit confused. "Why do the supervisor and director account for 80% of the evaluation? I feel like neither Zhou, Hao, nor Jiang-yi wants to keep me." Tung Yao thought for a moment and told her, "I can understand Supervisor Zhou not wanting to keep you, but Director Jiang will definitely keep you." But Yulu wasn't comforted. "There are some things you don't know." Tung Yao seemed to understand immediately. "You don't need to tell me everything that happens behind closed doors." Tung Yao became serious. "Actually, I admire you. You have so many imaginative ideas, and you're fearless in your work, always pushing forward with resilience. Yulu looked at him with some emotion. They had been colleagues for so long, and were even competitors in the company. She didn't expect him to say such things. Tong Yao lowered his head and smiled. He didn't modestly tell her, "I'm not bad either, so no matter which one of us leaves, we can still shine wherever we go." Yulu sat in her office chair. "That may be true, but I still can't help feeling nervous." Tong Yao was the same. He had washed his cup 5 or 6 times all afternoon. At this time, Zhang Yi unfortunately came looking for her, calling her to go with him to a meeting with the CEO. "That makes me even more nervous, okay?" Yulu held the meeting materials in her arms and followed Zhang Yi out. Meanwhile, Zhou Hao's expression was gloomy, silently staring at Yulu's back as she left. Yulu quietly asked Zhang Yi, "Director Jiang should have received the evaluation scores by now, right? Can you give me a hint so I can prepare in advance?" So Zhang Yi turned his head and told her, "Teng Yao's overall score is much higher than yours. Do you know why?" Yulu couldn't help but feel more nervous. "Teng Yao is so professional. He is indeed better than me." She felt somewhat inadequate, but Jiang Yi still turned to tell her a piece of news. "Zhou Hao gave you 0 points." Yulu wasn't surprised at all, but her mood still couldn't help but drop. "He's the supervisor. If he deliberately wants to target me, there's nothing I can do." Then she bowed deeply to Jiang Yi, thanking him. "Thank you for taking care of me during this time, Director Jiang." Immediately after, Yulu turned and left with low spirits. Jiang Yi didn't expect her to leave so suddenly. He anxiously called out Yulu behind her, but she didn't respond. She quickly left. He rubbed his temples somewhat dejectedly. "This is really giving me a headache. Why does this person only listen to half of what's said?"